everybody, and welcome back. Oh, yes, baby. It's Saturday, and that means it's IQ raising time here on Internet Genius. Welcome back again, folks. Oh, it's a real star-studded cast today. We've got, oh man, you're not even gonna believe it. It's Noni, everybody. He's here on the show. Woo! Yes, yes. Noni sells. We're running wild right now. Right, Noni?
Fight you. I'll fight all of you for the trout.
We will be doing a lot of fighting today. That's certainly true. And joining us to do so is our good friend, the Electric Underground. Mark, welcome back, buddy. It's been too long.
Yep, Daddy's home. What have you boys been up to since I've been gone?
Hashtag Daddy's home, everybody. Mark's here. It's true. It's true.
Quick, hide all the episodes when we talk about how good remakes are, specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let Mark see, please. Please.
Exactly.
We're gonna be in big
What
trouble,
have you
guys.
been up to? Well, I haven't been keeping an eye on things.
Oh, we won't even speak about such things. No, I mean, obviously, Mark was on our first two inaugural episodes. Now, guys, since then, we've become the most popular podcast of all time. And the Evangelion pilot episode. That's true. That's true. And now we went to the top. Can you believe it's millions of dollars per episode now, guys? It's just crazy how far we've come. And, ooh, sorry about that, Mark. Your contract stipulated you get nothing. You get nothing, and you never will, buddy. It's all for me. Yes.
I expected that fate. I have come to expect it. Yes.
As you should.
Yes. Though if this was a TV show, the guy that directs the first episode just gets money forever. So there's also that possibility because I was on the first episode, and I sort of, if you think about it, I'm sort of a founder, an investor in the show. So
something like that.
Revenue,
please kill this guy. Kill this guy on the way out. Please, he needs to be dead. He cannot be.
I guess I could be that
please.
guy. You know, the three guys that founded Apple. And there's like that one guy who doesn't get anything. I could be that guy.
Steve Wozniak, perhaps?
No, he's got shares in Apple.
He's in there. Yeah,
there was this one guy I think that like was an early investor and he like sold way too early and he just looks at his life and goes, oh shit. I can be that guy.
I've seen the David Fincher film about Facebook. What's that one called? The Social Network. Right? I am Spider-Man. Oh, God, guys. I sold my Green Goblin stocks too low. Please, God, no. Green Goblin's gone to the moon since then. Please, Lord. Hangs himself with web in the corner in his Spider-Man outfit. That's the true story behind
Marvel's
the scenes,
worth $1 billion now.
Yeah.
Could have bought it all in 1996, my friend.
I'll go back in time and do that for sure. Hey, all right, guys, listen. Hey, we're going to talk about fighting games and whatnot, but first you got to go to patreon.com/internetgenius. Give us the billions of dollars that we so richly deserve. When you hear this, the new bonus episode will be out featuring, turns out, it's Mark's favorite game of all time, also Mixtape, the best game ever.
Finally.
Mark's a big fan, right, Mark?
Absolutely. I think that game pretty much revolutionized gaming. And
it did.
It's one of those times where I read an IGN review and it says 10 out of 10. I just nod my head. I'm like, they get it. They understand.
I listen and believe.
They understand this medium. They understand that you can take a game and a story that was probably no irony rejected as like a really bad movie script, and they're sitting down with the producers and they're like, okay, so her greatest ambition is to work as the person who decides scores for movies. Yeah. She doesn't even want to be like a rock star and have groupies and have sex. She just wants to be a lame corporate music producer. This is really her dearest ambition. It's like, yeah.
Dude, you want to see your ambition? Edit some music into this video right now. Guys, Noni's living it. We're listening to copyright-free music. Oh my God, it's so big brain intellect. I can't believe that Noni picked the greatest song of all time for this. And it's over now.
One in a million game.
It's the greatest of all time. Congratulations to all involved. So let's get on to our topic for today. After you give us money at patreon.com/internetgenius, folks, we're going to talk about fighting games. We love to fight and to die for king and country. You guys ever play a fighting game? You enjoy that? And I do think the first thing we must do there's a little bit of discourse over the years about what even is a fighting game. You know, what even constitutes maybe Final Fantasy 1? I mean, you fight guys in that. Is that a fighting game, you think? You're fighting people in that? If there's two players fighting against each other, is Guitar Hero a fighting? I mean, you're kind of fighting each other, guys. Yes, I am an intellectual, and I'm getting to the bottom of this.
You say that, Nate, and yet at EVO they had a Catherine side event, and that's an action puzzle PvP game, which is cool. Catherine's actually a really awesome game. But yeah, that had a side event at EVO, so every time you try to come up with some sort of satirical example, the FGC delivers just without irony, without a sense of irony whatsoever. I'm Guitar Hero EVO Finals. Let's have it. Finally, something to watch. Finally, I'd watch it.
In all that actually would be pretty cool. But in all seriousness, let's actually get to the root of that issue right now and be like, is like what I don't know which version this was in, but like, is competitive Tetris a fighting game? Because it's the same kind of thing, puzzle game, whatever. But you do things that like fuck other people over. I was just playing a little bit of the Class of 09 like puzzle block battle game or whatever, which is like a combative Tetris-esque sort of, or you know what they call it, Candy Crush, whatever type game. Is that a fighting game? You're kind of fighting someone. Would you what classification?
And to make it even more complicated, there is actually a PvP Street Fighter puzzle game called Super Puzzle Fighter, my friend. Is Super Puzzle Fighter a fighting game? It has Ken. It has Ryu.
It's literally a Street Fighter game. You compete against other people. Meets a lot of the criteria so far. Yeah.
Is every shooter ever a fighting game?
Maybe.
Right now, if they said EVO finals are going to be Super Puzzle Fighter, I would appreciate that change, to be honest, at this point.
Well, okay, in all seriousness, what about like literally like Halo one-on-one
PvP,
battle or
Quake,
anything like that?
Quake PvP?
Is Quake a fighting game? You're fighting with a gun against... Okay, let's just cut through all the wheat and chaff here and get to the point of it. Because, you know, then there's some that are a little bit closer to what we're... You know, like people debate, like, is Smash Bros. Like a fighting game? To me, the answer seems like...
Here's one for you. Yeah. This is for you specifically. Is Dissidia a fighting game?
It obviously is. But I'd be interested to hear an argument to the contrary. Look, to me, Unga Bunga, simple as, Occam's Razor, whatever, it seems like the easiest possible thing is like, all right, I don't know if it has to be like, I guess it's not a one character versus one character, because you have things like, whatever, Marvel versus Capcom or whatever, where you have multiple guys.
Marvel, and the FGC would be very unhappy about that. You'd have to remove Tekken Tag as well.
It's okay, so it can't be that it's 1v1 characters exactly. Even like the DBZ games, you can like swap out characters.
That's right.
It's where, like, at one given time, you're sort of generally controlling a fight avatar on like a relatively equal playing ground with another dude that has similarly picked.
But it doesn't have to be Halo equal ground because you have slopes. Even if you get outside of Smash, you have Virtua Fighter 3, slopes. Slopes, my friend.
I mean metaphorical even ground. Metaphorical even ground, damn it. Not literal even ground.
Dead or Alive, stairs and slopes as well.
Smash Bros has sloped roofs, you guys, on Silphco.
The slope meta.
True,
yeah, and fun fact, just some deep Smash knowledge is that the big inspiration for Smash Bros. 64's slopes was, in fact, Virtua Fighter 3. And the director of Smash Bros. Was telling the programmer, listen, you need to make slopes happen on the N64. And the programmer's like, it's just not possible.
It's impossible.
This piece of shit hardware cannot do slopes. He's like, you make slopes happen or you're... And that's how
they were in Mario 64, weren't they? They had slopes, of course.
Yes.
Downward sliding stuff.
I'm assuming,
if Mario can do it,
yes, I'm assuming like the physics of dealing with the slopes in Smash is more complicated, but yes.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because there's like bouncing and shit like that.
I mean, what are we missing here? Is there some fact? Like, okay, Street Fighter is a fighting game. Tekken is a fighting game.
Before we get to like answers, I love just sort of trying to make sense of this question because it's one of those questions. I was on a podcast one time where I was just coming to talk about my favorite game and shmups and stuff. And just to start the conversation, this was a really fun podcast. It was a speedrunning podcast. He's like, yeah, so just real quick, just so we all sort of get the conversation going, what's a shmup? Like, what is define that genre? And I was like,
The most difficult question there is.
Well, and I spent a month. I did define the genre, and it took me a month. And I made an entire video forensically breaking down what constitutes a shmup. And then you kind of are like, well, and then there's all these edge cases, and you have to get lawyers involved, and the Supreme Court rulings. So, so the actual truth of this answer is that no one has ever devised a good definition. It has never been done. And every time you think, like FGC has come up with a really solid definition to disqualify Smash, for example, you just point around at a lot of their criteria and they're like, well. So I'll let you get started and I'll go on my spiel.
Is it a fighting game when items are off, but it's not a fighting game when items are on? I mean, there's arguments for these sorts of things, but
here's a interesting question: is Mario Kart a racing game?
I would imagine. I feel in my heart that it is.
yes, I agree.
There's rubber banding and very annoying. It's kind of a terrible racing game.
Yes,
but it's more of like a party combat speed simulator kind of game, something like that.
So I feel like there is bait. There is like bait. Like asking that question is Mark like steepling his hand like a fucking villain.
And then, exactly. And then the dagger comes out. But basically, I think a huge misconception that the FGC and the discourse about this has is that they say, Smash is a party game. Sakurai said so. Yeah. The thing about it is, party game is not actually a definition. A genre.
Right.
It is not. It is a style of a genre. So Mario Kart is a party game. It's a racing party game. Strip poker is a party game, but it's a card sex-based party game. And then you have
and none of these are
Smash.
exclusive. These are not exclusive definitions. You can be multiple categories.
Yes, and so Smash is in fact a party game. It's a fighting game party game. So there you go. It's a style of genre, but it's not a genre unto itself. Party game. Okay,
so as with almost all these debates, this is like a semantic nonsense argument where it's like, we all know that this is obviously true.
Yes.
It's just that people are using linguistic it's this, so it literally can't be anything else. Okay, whatever. I don't, like you said, I don't think we even can here and now come up with a clear definition. We all feel it's sort of about like,
I have an entire journey planned for you for the geniuses, because this is Internet Genius. It's about education. This is an educational program. I'm sure we're going to get funding for that any day now,
No doubt.
So
PBS,
I thought it might be a little fun to sort of travel through the history of this debate a little bit, because there's ebbs and flows, there's arcs, there's twists. So to begin with, in the very early days of the FGC, they actually had a very credible point, which would be that, yes, Smash is a fighting game, but it's not an arcade fighting game. It's a console fighting game. And the early FGC was exclusively arcade games only. They played tournaments on arcade cabinets. So when you showed up for Third Strike, you can't show up with a GameCube controller, dude. You got to be on the cabinet. You got to be pressing those buttons. That is how tournaments were ran. That is how the community worked. So in the early days, they actually had a very valid point that could disqualify Smash, because you could say, well, there's no arcade cabinet. How are we supposed to have tournaments if there's no arcade cabinet? But as I'm sure we're all aware, that argument has very gone away over time, because the arcade legacy of fighting games itself has diminished, where now you look at all all the fighting games coming out now, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Guilty Gear Strive, there is no arcade component to these games anymore. They are in fact console games, just like Smash. So in the past, this was a much stronger argument to try to disqualify Smash, but now everything is Smash. Like Smash has won, and you could say fighting games now are Smash games almost more than you could say they are traditional arcade fighting games. They're played on pad. There's a huge crossover. All the Smash players that I know, they ended up quitting and playing Strive, or just quitting altogether. So, but I think why this was such a hot debate, it wasn't because people were just so passionate about the semantics of genre definitions as I am.
They're not like us,
They're not like us. They're not internet geniuses that are passionate about these things. It's because
pity them.
There was a real friction between the FGC and the Smash community, and it's a very easy way to like get rid of the Smash community. It's like, we can just outlaw you definitionally, basically, because
it's perfect. Yeah.
Because if you look at the actual motivation behind this argument,
this is much like my argument to classify people sub 200 IQ as non-human. That's one of the main legislations we're trying to pass here on the Internet Genius program here. So the culling of the chaff must begin at once. I deeply resonate with the fighting game players here. We have to kill every Smash player.
Fighting game players back in 2010, 2012, even if I did play, Melee, a dirty, filthy Melee player, I did kind of respect their energy because that was an era where their games were awesome and cool. So you're like, okay, well, you guys have your own awesome games and everything. But like I said, everything now is basically a Smash game anyway, and not like Melee awesome, like Smash Ultimate type of shit. But yeah, that's where this
we
argument
call them
really
brawl
comes
likes.
from.
They're all brawl likes.
Brawl likes, yeah. Smash Ultimate brawl likes for sure. I like that, brawl likes. Yeah, and I think that's where the origin of this argument really goes. But it feels not really that relevant anymore because there was a divorce between the FGC and Smash, and so now they don't even interact anymore. So
I guess that's true.
That's usually what was so heavily debated is kind of the way the FGC worked. A little history of the FGC is like the way it worked is if you had the numbers, your game got into the tournament.
Right.
Do you want to be played at EVO or do you want to be played at Combo Breaker or something like that? Well, there's a bajillion fighting games, so the ones that get the spotlight are the ones with the numbers, the ones with the players. And unfortunately for the FGC, Smash had insane numbers. And so what would happen is they would throw a tournament, and there'd be like, this is before Tekken 7, there'd be like Tekken Tag 2, there'd be like 35 Tekken players, there'd be 10 Dead or Alive players, there'd be a bajillion Street Fighter 4 players, and a bajillion Smash players, basically. So, so you're sitting there, you're playing Tekken Tag 2, you're Korean backdashing, you're practicing all your tech skill, you look over and you see all these Smash players just running the venue, you're like, it's not even a fighting game, dude.
You see the tripping. You see them tripping and brawl over and over, beclowning themselves, absolutely beclowning themselves.
Yeah,
it's tough. They're a different breed. They always have been. No doubt about that.
So the sort of middle
Except
ground.
Maybe the Melee people. The Melee people were serious, but
the Melee people were once very cool because what I loved about the early Melee players, myself being one of them, is we were snobby elitists. And so if you so much as dared to plug in a Wii with Brawl on it, we'd be like, whoa, what are you doing? Get that
Dude, it's
out
a class system. It's a class system that's evolved over time naturally. And they're the untouchables. Brawl players are the untouchables. Oh, you're going to play Meta Knight? That's adorable. Anyway, get into the furnace. You're going away.
Well, I think it was sort of the beginning of the end, though, is when Ultimate came out and there was sort of like, okay, the Melee players, you guys can't be snobs. You guys can't be grown-ups. Also, too, Melee players, when I was playing and going to tournaments, they were all dudes my age or older. It was an older demographic.
Yes.
And then my friend quit Melee and was like, all right, dude, I'm going to play Ultimate. You need to come play Ultimate with me.
He caved. He compromised.
Here's a little story. So I was like, I hate Ultimate, dude. You know I hate Ultimate. But since you're my friend, I'll come play Ultimate with you at this Ultimate tournament. So we went to the Ultimate tournament. I walked in. There were like little kids everywhere. I turned around and left. Frame 1.
360-degree walked out, folks.
I frame 1 turned and left. I said no. No. Dude, no.
Dude, you frame perfect countered entering the facility.
Yes.
And you just pieced out.
Dude, absolute. We are not playing with children. That's kind of weird and creepy. No. So
dude, that's how I felt when I went to the showing of like the final episode of Digital Circus came to theater. I frame 1 parried. I was trying to parry, but I just couldn't escape. I was forced to stay. So many children, man. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That's me.
God, this is the quota, the slander of the Digital Circus
quota. It's true. I'm jaxing off.
It was cool because Melee was played in like college dorm rooms and like that kind of culture. There was there wasn't this kid culture to it, which I really
I guess it's because it was such a dividing line when Brawl came out after Melee, and all the serious Melee people were like, Sakurai, you spit in my face and expect me to thank you for it.
Yes.
You put tripping in the game, Sakurai. Itu Sakurai. It would have
Nate,
betrayal.
are you ready
so I can
for
see how that stopped everybody.
A cope?
Yeah.
But it's a tasty
always,
cope.
Always.
It's a tasty
Just like
cope.
my boy Ben Cope out there. Yes.
Okay, Ben Cope, join in here because this is a tasty.
No, he can never join in what we're doing. He's our arch nemesis.
Oh.
He who copes is the worst man of all time. Mark, if you we've revealed the identity of Ben Cope to the world since we last saw you.
Who's Ben? Okay, you better tell me who is Ben Cope. I don't know what I'm walking into here.
He who the brief stuff. He who copes, our arch nemesis of the show, is the man who had the absolute diabolical plan to go back in time, like 10 plus years before I invented Internet Genius, and have the audacity to steal the name of my show for his like small internet consulting business. How could he be so Machiavellian as to do that?
That sounds like an enemy.
Deeply immoral.
That sounds like an arch nemesis. Okay.
For life.
Yes. Sorry, Ben.
That being said, do not contact this guy under no circumstances, please, guys. It's just a joke. I'm just kidding around. But yeah. But that being said, I wish a curse upon him and his bloodline.
You know, that's funny, Nate, because all great shows must battle a rival, because when I started my channel, The Electric Underground, there was another Electric Underground that was pretty based and awesome. It was a dubstep podcaster, EDM, sorry, not dubstep, an EDM podcast where I'm quite sure were on acid the entire time, and they talked about how sick EDM is. And I was like, man,
damn,
this is tough to compete with. But luckily they lasted 3 episodes and never did anything ever again or something like that.
Yep. But that's even the more devious part of their plan. Ben Cope had the audacity to steal the YouTube handle Internet Genius and the Twitter Internet Genius, and then just upload family visits to Disneyland 10 years ago. Come on, at least be doing something actively, you monster. See, this is all further evidence of his crimes. The Nuremberg tribunals will convene, and we will go through all his great crimes when we finally seize power over all. He will pay
and
for
what's
what
funny
he's
is,
done to
you
us.
know, in real life, he has completely forgotten he ever did this. It is absolutely nothing to him. It's like that scene in Training Day where he's forgotten all about this, and he's just with his family in the front yard, and you pull up and shotgun him, and you're like, you remember me, motherfucker?
That's it. No, it's like that scene in Mad Men when Don Draper gets into the elevator with the guy, and this is me in the corner. Oh, I hate you so much. Every day I'm mad at you. And he's like, I don't think about you at all. That's Ben Cope to me. Truly, I'm coping a bit myself.
I'm kind of starting to like him.
No
When you describe him in this way,
we cannot have any sympathy for Mr. Cope himself. He is the enemy of all geniuses. I know he's
very handsome.
He's styling on me.
Is
a little
Ben Cope
bit. He is
very
handsome? Well, I'll leave that up to the audience to decide. His wanted poster is on the wall right now. Take a good look. It's a good likeness of him. He's a dashing man, if ever there was one. Anyway, so that's the story of Ben Cope, our arch nemesis for all time. Give me what's mine, Ben Tim.
Insane segue. So, Mark, you were saying you have some cope. You were saying you have some cope.
Oh,
Mark.
The word cope.
Let's bring it back.
It's my CIA conditioning activation word, the word cope. I begin spiraling about Ben.
I know it was. That's why I triggered it. I didn't know it'd get that powerful, though. But anyway, this cope is I'm finding it's very popular among my fellow Smash players. And I made this up. But I feel like it could be true. So
it's true if you believe it.
It's true if you believe it. Okay, so my cope is, if you look at Sakurai's behavior, right, it makes no fucking sense. He makes sick-ass Smash 64 godlike, Smash 64 rules, makes Melee even better, godlike +2. So he is on a roll, making awesome game after awesome game, then makes Brawl a giant pile of shit, and then makes Smash 4 a giant pile of shit. And, Ultimate's like, meh. But, so you'd think, okay, this is where Sakurai, he became kind of he lost his magic, basically. He became lame and stuff. But then you watch his YouTube channel. He's got a YouTube channel where he talks about design. Every so often, he drops, like, absolute bangers of insight and wisdom. And you're like, wait, Sakurai, let's apply this to your career. This doesn't make sense. This makes no fucking sense. And here's my theory. Here's my cope theory. I think what happened is he released Smash Melee. Yes, awesome. This is the sickest shit ever. Nintendo saw what that game was. They brought him into a back room. They closed the door. And ever since, Sakurai has been very critical of Melee and wants to distance himself from it at every possible opportunity, and goes into like this kind of PR robot mode whenever he talks about Smash. And he's like, do not play competitively. Do not kill your opponent. Comeback mechanics are amazing. And then on his YouTube channel, he's like, no, they actually suck. Comeback mechanics are bullshit, dude. Like, this all sucks. Help me. Help me. So that's my theory, is that Sakurai is actually a hostage and a prisoner under the claws of Nintendo, who hate competitive gaming, who hate difficulty, and he is their prisoner. And he can never create something amazing and awesome ever again.
Maybe this is the two Sakurai theory, on his YouTube channel. That's Sakurai 1, who still exists from the old days, but they've got a corporatized, mind slave Sakurai 2 that they created to, make all the
it's like the Avril Lavigne clone, Body Double. It's like that,
Yeah, or Paul McCartney, same same meme theme right there. Yep. I believe it.
I can't believe you proved that is actually true. So we've got two true theories about Sakurai here on the episode that explains this odd shift in his behavior and design philosophy.
Well, just to entertain a theoretical alternate possibility, do you think... Well, I was actually going to ask, so sales-wise, did Brawl... I mean, Brawl was on the Wii. I'm sure it vastly outsold Melee. Is that true to say?
Insane numbers, yes.
Okay, but like, they didn't know that before they made Brawl, so like they made all those decisions.
Yes.
Right, so it's on the Wii. The Wii sold crazy, so Brawl sold crazy. So it makes sense after Brawl, they'd stick with it.
One thing about Brawl that I will say that I have to give it credit for, because if Brawl wasn't shitty in terms of gameplay, this would be sick. But in terms of features, not the combat, in terms of features, Brawl is fucking insane. How many insanely good features that thing has. They went feature crazy in Brawl.
They sure did.
Yeah. So as a game, if you remove the whole Sakurai being held hostage by Nintendo and getting whipped, if you remove that as like a, the features and the polish and the effort, it's very impressive. It's just the fact that, it sucks to play and it breaks all of our hearts. There's that part. But for the casuals, it's like a wonderland. If you're a complete Smash casual. Also, I remember my friend was a casual, and he got annoyed because I learned to wave dash really early in Melee and learned all these little edge guarding tricks and stuff. When Brawl came out, I couldn't do that against him, and he was quite pleased. I remember that. He was quite happy with the shift.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So
we're lowering the standards.
It really made the casuals happy boys. So that's why it sold.
And it worked.
Insane.
And for sales-wise, that's why, guys, we have to overthrow capitalism today. It's the only way. Institute the Natocracy immediately and put me in charge of all decisions. It's the only way, folks.
Noni, get on it. That's
Noni,
your
I'm going to need you to
today.
take care of that by next week, Noni. Overthrow
by
all
next
world
episode,
governments.
Please.
By next episode, I'm expecting this to be done.
I'll have to call the Iron Bankers real quick. We can make it happen.
Yes. It's going to take a lot of funds to do it. Many gold dragons will be spent to do so.
Absolutely.
We appreciate
so much blood.
The only hiccup in this plan is it's the Natocracy, but remember, I was a founding member. Am I like the revolutionary that gets killed early, so I don't get to like reap the benefits?
You're getting Robespierre'd immediately, sir.
Yeah, I'm Robespierre, dude. I get taken out early.
You'll be in a hotel shot immediately. Could it be though? And hear me out. Could it be? Could it be that just Sakurai on some level just misunderstood what made Melee and 64 good? I'm noticing this trend with creators.
Yes. This is there's an alternate theory. I've got theory B. Theory B is that Melee and Smash 64 have a programmer, a head programmer, who is in both of those games, and those games have a very distinctive feel and brutality and beauty with their programming. And then he happens to mysteriously disappear from all the other Smash games. So that's theory B, is that the true hero of early Melee and Smash 64 is the programmer who spent God knows how many hours making that physics system work, and he was executed.
This is exactly like Kingdom Hearts. I can't even remember the guy's name. I feel bad about this. The combat designer was not there, who was there with Nomura and the gang making Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Or at least 2. I haven't double-checked 1. He was not there for the base design of Kingdom Hearts 3, but he came back for the DLC. That's why the DLC of Kingdom Hearts 3 is so good, and the base game is so shit.
I appreciate that level of research and detail because it is super important that people understand.
You need to know those things, man. This matters.
That it's not just the director, and in fact, the guys who often give the game its specific feel and magic are the dudes doing the programming and coding and playtesting. Like, they're the real heroes, and I mean this without any satire. They're like massively underappreciated. And they go missing, and no one cares, and it's unfortunate.
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
I was just going to bring up Metal Gear Solid, yes.
The dude who was, the script, who was on the scripts for 1, 2, and 3, and the moment he disappears, suddenly you can notice...
I didn't know this. This is groundbreaking news.
Tomokazu Fukushima is the writer who worked with Nomura in 1, 2, and 3. He was gone by the time 4 happened. That's why it's so weird and different. This is what happened. He's the guy that
makes so much sense.
It really is like Nomura.
Not Nomura, Kojimbo.
No. I know. I'm just making a comparison to Nomura with something like Kingdom Hearts or The World Ends With You, Twei. Like, these are Kojima and Nomura are idea guys for sure, and their ideas are really good, but there's a whole team. They are not doing it all themselves. Nomura needed this is why Neo Twei is awesome and great, even though Nomura had almost nothing to do with it. Nomura came up with the whole concept of the noise and the alternate realities and the death game and all that stuff. That was all him. But then it was executed by the team. And that team is awesome and made Neo Twei as good as it was. Go play Neo Twei. Jesus Christ, please. That game was fucked over for no goddamn reason, and it's awesome. Best thing Square Enix has made in a million years. Anyway, that's the point.
Artistic intent and direction is weird, especially in video games, because they involve so many people that can just affect so many things. Do any of you know, in Metal Gear Solid 2, this is a bit of a spoilers for Metal Gear Solid 2, I guess. You know the scene where Arakan's sister dies? And he
Emma,
cries.
Emma, yeah.
Yeah, this is real. This is actually real. At some point in development, Kojimbo just sat around and was like, guys, when she's dying, wouldn't it be sick if the camera zoomed in on her underwear and blood started covering it up so we would know that she is on her period when she's dying? Wouldn't that be based, guys? And obviously was shot down immediately by everybody else. I was like, no,
about
we're not
life
doing that.
And death and rebirth, obviously. I mean, that
yes,
stands out
that
to me
is
immediately.
I get it. The theme, sex and death are real and they're happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was shot down, but it is canon. I assume this is from interviews or something. That,
he wanted to do this, but they were like, we're not going to do that. And
let's not forget, this woman also pisses herself,
Yes.
just like Otacon does. This is canon. This happens in cutscenes. That was very important to him.
They couldn't win every battle against him. They couldn't win every battle. And you can see...
No, I'm with him. I'm with him on this. They should have put it in. That was based. It's cringe that it was cut from the game.
and you can kind of see this weirdness because when he made 5 and all the guys actually made the things are like gone or fucking mysteriously disappeared. And he made 5 and then he, we got quiet. And you're really like, huh.
You will be ashamed of your words and deeds, Noni. You will apologize on bended knee for the genius writing that is Quiet and her being naked being so plot relevant and Kino. I literally wrote on the screen that she just breezed through her skin because I said so. He's a genius, folks. It's the greatest writing of all time. I can't believe it. It was so well articulated, explained. Obviously, the fact that he can contort the narrative in whatever way he wants to justify anything has nothing to do with how thematically brilliant it is that this woman is naked, and he scanned the soles of her feet to have the soles of her feet be canonically accurate to the actress on Quiet's sexy, sexy model in the game. Bravo, Kojimbo. You've done it again, buddy.
You've done it again,
The Quiet lobby needs to phone in a little bit.
Yeah.
Quiet appreciators out there. They might exist. There might be people like that who think Quiet is amazing. Hey,
Internet Genius Submissions people, email us, send in a defense of Quiet. Let's get into it, folks. Who wants to defend Quiet?
Might be that, story-wise, it's ridiculous, and the story of MGS5 is embarrassing, honestly, as an MGS fan.
I'd use the word based, personally, but yeah.
I found it embarrassing in terms of quality, but...
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
The thing about Quiet is it is an incredible recreation of the model of Stephanie.
True.
Whereas when you look at the Resident Evil remake actresses, you look at them in real life, you're like, wow, beautiful, elegant.
Yeah.
And then you see their like the mocapping they do now, and it looks like everyone got hit in the face with a shovel.
What the hell is going on with the ugly stick happening?
Yeah.
And by the way, this doesn't happen in like Asia. They are able to do it. We are not. What's going on in America,
Actually,
guys? What is in the water?
Mark might know this. Yeah, but Mark, when you get the alternate costumes, they just look better for whatever reason.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Have
They're
you
making
seen
a choice.
What's her name? The chick from Resident
Claire?
Evil?
I don't
know. No, the nine, the one with the
Grace.
Yeah, Grace. Have you seen Grace's alternate costume?
Not the DLCs. Not the DLCs.
Right,
only the
screen.
built-in ones.
I'll put it on screen. I'll see if I can post it just to have some.
Yeah, I
comparisons.
refused to buy the DLCs, but I did get her costume, but just the built-in one.
Are you still on the train of refusing to buy DLC for all time, Mark? Are you holding the flag for that struggle?
No.
Oh, okay.
You just have to earn my DLC, dude. I don't just buy it by default. You know, I don't know why. When did this become a standard? I don't know when this happened.
I'm not saying it is.
By the way,
I'm not.
If you buy a game, you have to buy all the DLC. It's like, if it's cool, if I want to buy it, why do I have to buy all the shitty DLC?
You do have to buy all the DLC, Mark. You're not a real player if you haven't bought it all. Buy it all right now, or you're getting kicked off the podcast.
You know what trained this out of me is being a Dead or Alive player, dude. Because if you tried to buy all the Dead or Alive DLC, you would go bankrupt. It's impossible. So at some point, you have to be like, all right, what DLC is actually worth buying? And what DLC is
I myself am a relic. I'm a relic from the days.
Grace DLC costumes. I was like, no, I'm not buying nothing.
Oh, never in my life would I buy DLC like that. I would. Okay, wait. Let me see this image here. I mean, okay, she's a pretty girl. You know, I see it.
Grace isn't too bad. Grace, they're definitely improving. I think they did better with Grace.
They're definitely going up.
Guys, Noni's not happy. I can read between. Noni is not happy about this, folks. You need to make his women 10 times sexier immediately.
Well, if you look at Quiet and Stephanie Houston, though, I mean, this was way before, and they do such a better job. It's like really impressive how well they capture her in that game. So. It was probably because Kojima was deeply in love with her and was like
100%.
obsessed with every
As
single.
He always is. He always is, man. He works with a female actress. He falls in love. Look, we all know that there's a thing going on where they're like, well, we can't make the girls too sexy or like people will be mad at us. That's a real thing, man. That's a real thing they've been doing.
That's starting to shift. I think what they're starting.
It is starting to shift.
It is starting to shift, but what it's shifting to is like almost kind of more cringe where it's like, buy the DLC. You horny bastard. You horny
I agree.
Loser.
That's also too far, guys.
Yeah, it's like,
we have
can
to find
you
the
just
golden
make the
mean
characters
like
look good in the default game that I paid money for?
Right.
This purchasable cosmetics is a real bane to game design personally because it's really ruined fighting games because especially it used to be that you would play and the unlockable that was actually worthwhile were the cosmetics. But now that you can't unlock cosmetics because you have to buy them, there's no carrot. And the carrot of like adding power-ups and shit like that ruins balance. But I mean, it was a real actual tool of game design that's been just turned into DLC bait. But there was actually a purpose to having cosmetics in the design.
The DLC bait also is a problem because we all know the phenomenon. It's the worst in fighting games or any kind of competitive game. The feature creep that exists, like Sephiroth in Smash Bros. Ultimate or whatever, he's just like way better than the base characters in many ways. Or, you know, this is true in like, I don't know, Street Fighter, Tekken, all these games.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did this with Akuma. Like, Akuma, they wanted all the Street Fighter players to play Tekken 7. So when they launched the console version, they made Akuma so fucking OP that like Street Fighter players, I think one of them, what was his name? Oh, it's going to come back to me. Poonko, who was a Street Fighter 4 player, was like kicking the shit out of people in Tekken 7 with Akuma. And it was so overpowered and obvious. And then, you know, I don't think they ever actually nerfed him enough. But eventually they're like, okay, we got you all hooked. We'll kind of nerf him a little bit. But no, this is definitely a strategy. They launch the DLC character. They make them OP as fuck. Everyone buys them. And then they're like, next season or whatever, we'll tune them down. Maybe.
Interesting. Yeah.
And now they started selling base roster characters. Like, you want Heihachi? He's only been in every single Tekken ever. Buy him. This is so stupid.
To be slightly, you know, I'll give him a kernel. I get that, like, it's development time to make new characters. Okay, maybe Heihachi's been in every game forever. Fair enough. But maybe they were just, like, prioritizing all the other characters, and now they're getting to... Look, the problem is we have a credibility problem. If I believe the developers were, like, they're working hard, and they're making as many characters, and oh my god, we're literally out of money. We can't fit the newest character... then I'd be sympathetic.
Nate, we literally know that's not a thing because, as Mark can confirm, was it Street Fighter V, the thing with like locked characters on the disc on release? Like that was
Tekken Cross Street Fighter. Yes. Tekken Cross Street Fighter DLC on disc.
I am the corporate defense force. You don't understand. They are mortgaged to the hilt. They've been taking out loans to get you a better game, Noni, and you have the audacity to claim that they're being anti-consumer by... No, you don't understand. They owe $1 million on that character. They're just a poor, starving game company. They need you to please give them all the money. We have to put on-disc DLC. We have to put cosmetics for way more inflated prices that are utterly ridiculous. We have to do it, or we'll all fold up and die. I, Nate Bestman, endorse this behavior completely. It's the right moral thing to do to squeeze the masses for as much as they're willing to give up from their foolish wallets. The money's better with me than with you, folks. I am Tekken Man. I am Square Enix. I don't know who the fuck I am. I'm Capcom. Please give me your money.
Please give them your money.
Also, too, it's funny that when they launched Tekken 8, the launch version did not have the microtransaction cosmetics, the launch version.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then after all the reviews, literally like a month or two later, they add it. Oh well, we just coincidentally added it.
Dude, after the review wave, that's fucking devious. That's
I know, and I made a video about it, and all the fighting game players are so far gone at this point. They're like,
no one cares.
That makes sense.
Dude, that is smart, literal internet genius, Machiavellian evil shit. But, like, they know the market they're playing in. No one pays attention, like, 1 week after the game comes out, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, no one's going to call you on it.
This story is the perfect example of that, Nate, and the timeline might be a little fuzzy.
Sure.
But I remember very distinctly that there was a Smash tournament, Big House, that got shut down during the COVID era by Nintendo because they're like, we don't want you using emulators for this and stuff. And the Smash players, which I agreed with, were like, this is bullshit. Fuck you, Nintendo. We're boycotting Nintendo or whatever they were going to do. And then Nintendo, now the exact time frame, it felt like the time frame was very close. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the research department, and the timeline goes on November 19th, 2020. The Big House posted about being shut down by Nintendo and receiving the cease and desist, canceling the tournament, which then led to this big backlash, the free Melee movement, and all of this sort of great retribution. And then on December 10th, less than a month later, Nintendo revealed Sephiroth as a DLC character in Smash Ultimate, and this was the reaction.
Nintendo, please. Sephiroth! Holy fuck, what? Oh my god! He's
Yeah. They were saving that one in their back pocket for a special occasion, just like this. Maybe, man.
You don't even have to be that much of a mastermind. You just go, okay, what do we got that's going to make them happy? Well, we got... All right, let's do something. If we're going to piss them off, we'll do it now.
You know, obviously we can't confirm that, but it would be overly naive. I'm a pretty forgiving guy. I'm a pretty anti-conspiratorial, like, generally speaking, dispositionally, but it would be naive to think that sort of thing never happens. So you can't.
I think it's a general strategy that you learn in like business management or something like that.
Dude, big corporations, like, there are lawyers paid to do this stuff and strategize specifically. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it would make some sense to me. Now that we've defended the corporations that we all love so dearly, maybe we should talk a little bit about the fighting games that we have played and enjoy, if you can imagine it. It's funny, we touched on so many things. I have like a couple of notes and a couple of concepts I want to get to, but like we can get to those later. Let's just talk about some of our favorite fighting games that we've played over the years, and let me just kick it off by talking about my first and my beloved. I haven't played in a long time, but when I was young, this was the game that I would play with my brother on the SNES, and it's, of course, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the original, the GOAT, everybody's favorite back in the day.
Wait.
Yeah.
I need you to clarify because I'm excited. Were you playing the new Challengers or Street Fighter 2? Because both were on the SNES. And the way you can tell the difference is Cammy. Is Cammy in it?
We never had Cammy. We did not have Cammy.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's tragic. Both versions are cool, but this
new
new Challengers version it's fucking amazing. I love SNES New Challengers. Is it as good as Super Turbo Arcade? No, but I have a massive soft spot for it as well.
Dude, I've had this weird thing. Everybody around me always knew who Cammy was, and I was like, who the hell is this girl showing her ass to everybody? I've never seen this character in my life. This is for like 20 years after this, and then eventually I learned like the next version of the game had Cammy in it. Wow,
yes.
Okay, I guess I missed the boat on that, but everyone's so horny for this girl all the time, and I don't get it. I don't even know
Cammy
who she
rules.
is.
She's awesome.
She's like as popular as Tifa in some circles or something.
Yeah,
She's,
Cammy is a real top tier girl. Yeah, Chun-Li, Cammy, Tifa.
Yeah.
You got the top tier girls. Yeah.
Man, the horniness of fighting games also needs to be studied.
From King of Fighters. Mai from King of Fighters, another top tier.
Oh yeah, of course. Everyone's the sex goddess Mai Shiranui. That is she's not good enough to be in Smash Bros. Not for good little boys and girls, guys. Sakurai was very clear about that. I just can't do it, guys. Yeah.
Smash Ultimate, not the earlier Smash. Smash Ultimate got a little horny. Because Namco was like involved. They got more horny than the other Smash
You
games.
mean like with like what's her face? The Crimson and the gold girls from Xenoblade or whatever, those guys?
Well, I know the Smash Boys were getting all horny about it. I remember this being a controversy. People were like, "Hey, you shouldn't be all excited about these ladies in Smash."
They did censor the
Nintendo
designs
don't
of
like that
Pyra and
behavior.
Mithra. Yeah. Well, and they did a bunch of censorship stuff. Whatever, man. At this point, like we've all talked about that 1,000 times. It's cringe, but what are you gonna do? So I assume you were a man that played a lot of Street Fighter.
Yes.
Maybe even to this day. I assume you have a long, ongoing relationship with it.
I love Street Fighter. Yes. So I think I am the classic example of what is called an 09er. So this is a little FGC lore for the internet geniuses.
He committed 9/11? An 09er?
Oh my God, Noni. Calm down.
Shot up the school?
Relax, Noni, relax.
Yeah.
It's not that spicy. Okay. Okay, now it sounds more exciting than it actually is. It's a problem. Okay, so 09ers are simply, you played Street Fighter in the arcade, you played on the Super Nintendo, you love Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 is your jam. And yeah, the other Street Fighters came out, like Street Fighter Alpha and Third Strike.
Yeah.
And you kind of knew they existed, but they were kind of harder to find, and your local arcade probably didn't have them. And so you mostly think of Street Fighter in terms of Street Fighter 2. And then in 2009, a game called Street Fighter 4 came out that was a throwback to Street Fighter 2 in many direct ways, and intentionally so. And everyone was like, finally. But then there was all these other characters like Yun, and you're like, Yun? Who's Yun? And then you find out Yun is from Third Strike, and Third Strike is awesome. And then you get acquainted with all of the other Street Fighter games. And though I did have Street Fighter Alpha 3 on my PSP, so I was aware of Street Fighter Alpha because of my PSP. But I actually did not know about Third Strike that much until after playing Street Fighter 4. And so 09ers are the group of Capcom players that basically got into fighting games in the year 2009, and there was a massive flood of them. And we all kind of learned fighting games during that era, and like competitive fighting games, not just casual fighting games.
I'm definitely not.
Because I played them casually, in the arcades and stuff. But.
Yeah. I certainly wasn't competitive or anything, but I did play a lot of Street Fighter 4 when it came out. In my college days with the boys, along with the other.
That was a magical time, I have to say, in the fighting game world, because Street Fighter 4 was like the common language.
Brawl was out, and we were all having a great time. We loved tripping. We loved the items. We loved playing Meta Knight.
Why'd you have to remind me of that?
I know.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's your Vietnam flashback.
But
the
what was
50s
cool about
was such a fun time, Just forget about everything else real quick.
Yeah. But what was cool about it is that basically it was sort of this standard where everyone could play Street Fighter 4. It was really funny.
Yeah, that was great.
everyone just kind of had to play Street Fighter 4. So it kind of united a lot of the fighting game communities together because even if you had your main game, whatever it was, Guilty Gear, Tekken, Smash, like everyone kind of played Street Fighter 4. So that's one reason why.
Yeah, that was
a
beautiful thing.
Marvel as well.
Because everybody knows Street Fighter has the social cachet of being like the main character of fighting games, at least in the West. I don't know what they're doing in Japan, but to this day it holds that, I think.
Yeah, and it makes sense because Street Fighter 2 really set the foundation for what we understand as fighting games.
Yeah.
It's such a
Although,
landmark
you know what?
game.
I will counter my own point. Is that still true today, do you think? Because times have really changed. You think
sort
so?
of yes and sort of no. I would say the arcade DNA of Street Fighter 2, which is awesome, has been really stripped away from it. But like a lot of the sort of basics are still there. It's been kind of smashified, basically, I would say. Yeah.
What are we on? We're on Street Fighter 6 now, right?
Street Fighter 6,
the one out
yeah.
right now?
Like, for example, Street Fighter 6, you can do, like, with modern controls, they're like Smash controls. You can do, like, one-button supers and...
Dude, Street Fighter 6 is my favorite brawl-like of all time. It's got to be up there. Top 5 for sure.
There you go.
Top 10, top 10.
They should put tripping in the game, guys. Please.
But Mark, Street Fighter 6 might be like on a general scale, like a stripped down version of Street Fighter like 2 DNA, but Street Fighter as a brand is still the most powerful fighting game brand, I would say, by like a lot.
I was gonna say, what about Smash though? What about Smash?
And there's another specter, let's not forget. I think it's not true anymore, but once upon a time, the biggest fighting game IP, Tekken had that for a little bit, but don't forget Mortal Kombat, my friend. Mortal Kombat was mighty.
Keyword
mighty.
is was on that conversation, though. Yeah,
but there was a time where
right.
Mortal Kombat was serious. And it was funny because like me and my brothers took Mortal Kombat just as seriously as Street Fighter. And I have a soft spot for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. It's insane. Actually, you should show some matches of people playing Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Fightcade. It is the most nuts shit you've ever seen, but it's kind of cool.
Is there any famous matches in particular that are like, like the famous parry all of Chun-Li's kicks with what's-his-face?
There's not. There's not. No, it's just pure madness. There's nothing famous or notable about the competitive scene.
Beautiful. So what would you say is the most, at the moment, as of, August 2026?
The most powerful fighting game? Yeah. Street Fighter 6 is the king of fighting games right now.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I was actually wrong because Street Fighter 5 came out, and that was a massive drop in Street Fighter popularity, Street Fighter credibility, and was like, okay, the series is cooked. Meanwhile, Tekken 7, it's got some compromises for sure. It's not perfect or anything, but it kept a lot of that good shit. And Tekken 7 actually was the last arcade version of Tekken, so that could be part of the reason why. It was growing in power and strength. And so I'm looking before Street Fighter 6 came out and before Tekken 8 came out, and I'm just looking at what I'm seeing. I'm like, all right, Street Fighter 6 is going to crash and burn, and Tekken 8 is going to be god tier amazing. And
here we go, baby. Tekken time is here.
Tekken 8 was a disaster. I was so wrong. It was a massive disaster. And Street Fighter 6, it's not amazing, but it's competent. And in the current landscape, being competent makes you like god tier. So it's not even a question. Street Fighter 6 is the most popular, competitive, important fighting game at the moment, for sure.
Okay, well, let's just tell me, who's your guy in Street Fighter? Because I am a Ken Masters loyalist since the day I was born. Oh, yes!
We're fellow Ken players, dude.
Dude, that's so sick. So sick. He's the best. He's got my favorite. He was my original, literally me. I'm an American guy that went to Japan and learned the way of the samurai and became the strongest of all time. Yes, always
and he's got
Ken
kind of
for
like
life.
that surfer vibe with the hair.
Yeah. Oh, he's
amazing.
The best. And he's rich as shit with a hot-ass wife, unlike that broke bum Ryu who's fucked off and ruined his life.
Fellow Ken appreciators, dude. Ken rules. And
hell yeah, bro.
I play Ken in Third Strike. I play Ken in Street Fighter 2. Though in Street Fighter 2, you do got to kind of move around from character to character from time to time.
Sure. Although, I just have to say, isn't there what's the slur for Ryu-type characters that Ken is obviously one of? I forget the name for them.
Oh, Shoto. Okay, so the distinction of Street Fighter archetypes is really cool. So there's the Shotos. So that's Ken and Ryu. Oh, and Sagat, of course. You throw a projectile, and then they jump and you uppercut their ass. Like, that's kind of the basic game plan of the Shoto, which rules. And then you have the charge characters. Charge characters hold back constantly, all day, every day, and, like, pile drive you with these kind of OP-ass projectiles or projectile-ish attacks. But because they have to constantly hold back all the time, they're kind of defensive and turtly. I've never played a charge character in my life, but I can appreciate the art of the charge character. But it is quite tricky to do.
Who's a charge character? Help me out.
Guile. With the hair,
all right.
the sonic boom. I'm sure you remember. You have PTSD of sonic boom, and then you go to.
I mean, of course.
And then,
another American hero who I love, obviously.
And it's with an amazing theme song. Okay, what separates him from like Ken and Ryu is he has the sonic boom, he has the flash kick, the up kick, but his sonic boom moves slowly. So what he can do is he can like throw it and then just kind of walk behind it and pressure you that way, which is really crazy. But yeah, Guile is like the charge character for sure. Chun-Li as well. Chun-Li, charge character as well.
Right.
With her Hadoken, and with her Chun-Li's awesome too, with her sick ass kicks and everything. And then the other character archetype are the grappler characters. So you got Zangief,
my boy Zangief and the gang.
Yeah, and they've got insanely OP-ass grabs. They're slow. They're easy to beat up as a Shoto character because you can hit them with fireballs constantly and uppercuts. But if they get close, you're just dead. So
where does my boy E Honda land on this? E Honda's on this
kind
spectrum?
Of a charge character, grappler, like Blanca as well. I should look up. There's like characters like Blanca and E Honda that have these kind of like pile driver moves that they just charge and come at you with. I think they're charge characters, but they're kind of weird hybrid types of things. Then there's Cammy, and Cammy is like trying to be a modern fighting game character back in the 90s and just gets owned constantly. She's very cool, but she's very weak in Street Fighter 2.
Well, okay, there you go. I mean, Noni, did you even play much Street Fighter? Is this before your time, frankly?
Quite literally, yes.
Street Fighter 2 at least.
My Street Fighter contributions to this conversation that I was silent on is my brother was a Street Fighter 3 fiend. I remember being a fucking, baby. And them telling him, being like, you gotta babysit this fucker. He's like 4. We're going outside. And he's like, I want to go out. So he takes me with him, and I just sit on a chair, and I just see him. Like, a line of people just play Street Fighter 3 with him, and he just beats them and takes money. Like, actual money bets.
Okay.
Yeah, money matches.
Hustling people.
That's what that's called, money matches.
Dude, who did he play? Do you know who he played in Street Fighter 3?
He was a Ken guy. He was a Ken.
Another Ken hero? Dude, welcome to the club, buddy.
Ken is very good in Third Strike. In Street Fighter 3, Ken is very good.
Noni's brother is now from never on will be known as Ken. Ken, that's it. His name is Ken, as far as I'm concerned. He is the real American hero. Welcome to the club, buddy. Congrats on being the best American hero who ever lived.
Yeah, another very cool character from Third Strike is a character named Yun, and he's got kind of a more contemporary style to him, where he doesn't have projectiles, but he's got rekkas. So he does like these kind of strings and sick-ass combos, and has like a custom combo super and stuff. He's a really cool character too. So I flirted with playing Yun from time to time. I can't leave my Ken, but every so often I kind of I look at Yun. I'm like, it's a pretty cool character.
Dude, I am shocked with the amount of love Ken is getting right now. I feel like Ken's always getting shit on by people. I mean, I know he was really good, and I think it was Street Fighter 4, or was it 5, where he was kind of good in the meta or whatever.
Ken has that vibe of like a Joey character, Yu-Gi-Oh and Joey, that type of like.
But everybody loved Joey.
Joey rules, dude.
No, you know who he's like? You know who Ken is like? Ken is like Polnareff from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3, as in the guy that everybody underestimates, but is actually the best all along and gets all the best shit to do. That's who Ken is in real life, aka Street Fighter.
I feel like the Ken love is similar to people liking Vegeta way more than they like Goku.
Yes, exactly.
Like that energy, yeah.
Correct. Her main character, like they want to push Ryu on you guys. He's pursuing his power and he wants to be the best. Meanwhile, Ken's over here smashing pussy left, right, and center, being rich and being American, aka the best kind of thing to be.
He's also so chill. He's so chill.
Yeah. Unlike Ryu, who's like, it's like Ryu is the example. Dude, guys, Ryu did not read the Mickle chart, okay? Ryu is way too high on the Mickle chart, diminishing returns out the wazoo by throwing away his entire life. Meanwhile, did Ken compromise? Maybe he's like 0.5% lower than Ryu, but for that percent, he got the wife, the money, the children, the riches, the house. He's American, a real-blooded American hero. He got everything else, and was it a worthwhile compromise?
Yes!
Up to you. Many would say so. Ryu is a broke bum. And he's smelly also.
Before we jump into a different fighting game and jump all over the place, how important to you two is the single-player experience in a fighting game?
Good question.
You go first,
Good
Nate.
Question. Honestly, because in my early days especially, that was probably the primary way I played the game. This is a long time ago, like when I was playing Street Fighter. As I got older, okay. When I got older and started playing a lot of Smash in college, that was all competitive, like 4 years. But then later on, I came back home to we will talk about my beloved Dissidia, the greatest fighting game of all time. And I played that game more than any other game I've ever played in my life. And it was all by myself 100%. I don't think I ever played another player a single time ever because it was on the PSP and no one else had one. So I'm a solo cell. I would say overall, except for that brief Smash period. How about you, Mark? Do you value it at all, Mark? Do you even care?
Well, I've gone full 100 with this because in my early days, like you know, I played kind of with either my brother or solo, so it was deeply important to me in the early days on consoles and stuff like that. And then I started going to the arcades, and you'd have to play the arcades mostly solo because I don't know, just wasn't a lot of people there. Though sometimes I remember I have a distinct memory as a child beating a grown man in Soul Calibur and him getting so mad at me. I was like,
how old were you, do you think? A little kid.
11.
Okay.
I was like 11.
Base.
Fucking ringed him out with Taki. That was my character.
Cool.
Yeah, I remember really, really enjoying that. But then I got into, competitive and all that and playing online. And I was like, single player, that's like, forget, that's a waste of time. But now what's happened is if you love certain fighting games, like Virtua Fighter 4, for example, and yet no one plays them anymore because they're on to whatever popular stuff. You start to appreciate, like, oh, Virtua Fighter 4 has this sick-ass quest mode. That's a legit single-player experience. So I actually think now it's actually really important. I think single-player content is super important in fighting games. It's something that we don't appreciate until you need it, and it's not there, and you're like, damn, I really wish it was there. Dude, especially because fighting game players now are sort of trained to just go to whatever is popular, even if they don't particularly like it that much, because keeping up with the social, keeping up with the esports, and all that
this
sort
is
of stuff.
the downside of like esports being so sort of mainstream now. The games are sort of so focused on that. But dude, smashing the car in Street Fighter 2 back in the day was sublime. Nothing paralleled the joy you get fucking that Toyota Camry up. That was some peak content.
There's this fighting game on the Super Nintendo I invite you to play. I think you would enjoy it, Nate. Or maybe it would torture you and it'd still be fun for you to play it. It's called Art of Fighting by SNK. And it's like Street Fighter, except evil. It is so hard. Okay. And it has this sick-ass dynamic camera system, even on the Super Nintendo, where it like zooms in and the sprites are huge. And it's... It has like mini games and stuff like that too. But everything about that game, I remember, it was like 10 times harder than Street Fighter. It was so hard, but so good.
Okay, cool. That would, dude, I'm terrible at for the record, everybody, I'm dog shit at all of this. I'm absolutely terrible. Never got even close to good. I was the worst in my friend group consistently, but I still had fun, so that's what counts.
Well, you know what's funny about that, Nate, is I was on the reverse where I was always the best because I was always just a tryhard. I would go home and like practice. But, that's really not that fun with your personal friend group because what happens is you just beat them in the game like resoundingly.
Dude, nobody wants to play you when you're too good. That's real.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're like, they don't even just not want to play you. They don't want to play the game. They just like, fuck this game. We're not even playing this anymore. I'm like, but
Dude, no. I was the real internet genius. I knew if I tried, I would get too good and ruin my fun time. I intentionally lowered my power level. I'm like Goku in 10,000 times gravity, just lowering myself so I can compete with these guys. That was my plan all along. Chapter 1, baby.
To the whole thing about, like, popularity ruining these games in a certain sense. I, doing this episode, I'm like, well, I want to play a fighting game. Just like, it's been a while. My picks are all, ancient, as you'll see, and real specific. And I'm like, what game should I play? And I don't know if Mark would, appreciate or look down upon me for saying this.
I never look down upon you, Noni. I understand and I sympathize.
I did go to Steam, Mark, and one of my friends does own Street Fighter with all the Street Fighter 6 with all the DLC.
I wouldn't judge you from playing Street Fighter 6. It's kind of like one of the only. I personally, just don't care anymore. I'm not gonna play these games. I'm holding out for
Mark's
Virtua
an
Fighter 6.
asshole, and everybody else is having a good time. So ignore this guy, everybody. Go have fun with your fight slop.
Well, there's a group of us. I'm not alone. There's a group of us, and we're all kind of just sitting and waiting, hoping.
There are dozens of us. Dozens. And we will never say.
Exactly, Nate. That's right. There are. That's more true than you imagine. Unfortunately, there are dozens of us. Sitting and waiting for Virtua Fighter 6, hoping that.
Yes.
Fucking
literally dozens.
Pray
Literally
for Virtua Fighter 6. It's just
praying.
The part that specific to Mark is this: is like I launched the game, and because my friend owns all the fucking DLCs. Man, the game is like, wow, I have so many characters to pick from. And, all the menus, what if I click on an option, all the costumes unlocked, and I'm like, this is definitely an experience that people will not have with this game if they just launch it.
Yeah.
It's like Steam itself, where when you have 1,000 games to play, all of them mean equally 0 to you. And you're not like, oh man, I remember beating the super extra hard mode or whatever to unlock Cammy's bunny costume or whatever. Now that was a great day for me in my youth, or, Ken's Uncle Sam costume or whatever the hell they're doing these days. Now it's all just buy the slop, do whatever. None of it means anything. I mean, it certainly has lost a bit of charm compared to, unlocking it the other way.
Like, on the opposite side of, like, not complaining, but, like, just being truthful and being like, it's insane what they're doing to, like, locking the costumes, doing all this fucking horrific shit, locking down content, all of that. But if you're on the other side and you just have all the content, and it feels, wow, the game is so big and so full. Just obviously spent $150, but I didn't spend it, somebody else did. So I don't
Noni, here's how I can wrap this conversation into talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's because both are slop content that are just piling the slop on. Where's the soul, Noni? Where's the soul in it all? No, okay, I'm just memeing everybody. Calm down, everyone. Lower your weapons. Okay, no, I'm just telling a little joke here. I'm sure it's fun to be given 1,000 costumes to play, but who does it? Where is the soul? Where is the soul in?
Yeah,
whatever.
And there's also the flip side where I bought Tekken 8 on launch, and early investor and all that sort of stuff. And now when I open up that game, which is rare, but sometimes I open it to see just what's going on in there. What's happening in this game? You just see how much shit you have to buy, and it's like a massive turnoff because you're like, holy crap, I have to buy the other half of the game now, basically.
So are there like characters that you can't play because you have to buy them?
Yep.
Okay,
all
right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I can't play Heihachi, dude. I cannot play Heihachi.
Right. That's insane, obviously.
You know what? There is also the other part, which is with every game at this point. I think it used to be more unique to fighting game, but now just every game, it's so like 3 years later or 4 years later, now this game is $20 Ultimate Hyper Edition, and you just like one purchase have everything, and you're like, oh wow.
But you know what's worse with fighting games than even other games? So even if we're saying other games have this problem, which they do for sure, but fighting games, it's even worse. It's the worst of all because that content is valueless. It is worth nothing. Because like I said, remember, fighting game players always move to the next thing. So I'm sure right now you could go buy Street Fighter 5 and buy all the DLC, and it's probably a lot cheaper and everything.
It'd be a bargain, no doubt. Yeah.
No one plays it. It's almost like old school like sports games, where you could go buy Madden 99 for $1 because Madden 2004 was out. That's kind of what they've done, is they've turned fighting games into sports games where, sure, years later you can buy all the DLC and shit, but no one's going to play it, or there's like 10 people online that day, or it's not the same as having it when it's relevant, when it matters.
You know, and
they know
some
that.
of this is just, they do know it and they play to it, and it's sort of just inevitable. You know, I like the sports games, right? The people love the sports game people love their sports games, and they're going to play the new Madden when it comes out next year, whatever. That's not me. I think I had like one when I was very young or whatever. I probably played it like a little bit, but no longer. And in a sense, like, I understand these concerns of like artistic integrity. I also get that they're like, yeah, we just want to make a new one and like ship more units and update everything. And it's a tension between these two things. I don't feel like they should not be allowed to make like a new game or whatever. Really, it's about the things like the retarded DLC that are just so awful, and gatekeeping characters that they really could release. And, you know, generally speaking, like we said before, they don't have credibility. So it is a reasonable assumption that they're like, they had the money to release Heihachi on disc or whatever. Now, maybe they deliberately pushed him back on purpose to sell him to you, or maybe he was ready to go and they just chose not to release him just because they know they want to sell him later because that makes more money. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just a little bit, I guess, tired of the annoying discourse.
I feel like fighting games in particular, though.
Yeah.
This is more of an issue than just like your general gaming stuff, because the thing about fighting games is the way they're designed, they're a very holistic style of genre. Everything has to be balanced with everything else. It's like a puzzle, right? With the frame data, with the advantage, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So what happens, though, is like you're trying to put together a puzzle, but every week you know, every few months, that puzzle changes. So you're like, okay, I'm getting the pieces here. I'll tell you a story of my local, which is now dead.
I see.
But my local I went there and they're like, okay, we're playing Strive when it comes out. We're all going to play Strive. Fine.
Fair enough.
I'm not a fan, but fine, whatever. So I bought Strive full price, started practicing it. I come the next, you know, a few weeks later, having practiced Strive. I'm like, okay, I practiced it. Let's play it. And they're like, yeah, we're actually playing Multi-Blood now. I was like, are you serious? They're like, well, Strive is stupid.
Dude.
We're playing Multi-Blood. I was like, all right, fine. So I get Multi-Blood. I go it. I practice it a little bit. I come back. And they're like, yeah, we're not playing Multi-Blood. We're playing
this is a reasonable concern.
There was this new anime fighter where it was like medieval and shit like that. Like, we're playing this now. I'm like, this is... And then the local just died, obviously, because they kept churning...
Right.
Like a fighting game, you cannot have this like constant consumption because the games take time to learn. They take time to practice. You can't have this sort of model. It's not like, you know, Fortnite or whatever, where it's kind of basically the same, little bit here and there changes. Because fighting games, again, they're with the frame data, because they're so holistic, you can't just keep changing them and refreshing them, because you have to relearn everything all over again constantly. And it's very fatiguing. And it's the part of fighting games that isn't fun. The part of fighting games that is not fun is learning the frame data, learning the moves. It's just like getting homework every week. It's like, oh, more homework, more homework. Like, can we get to play the game at some point? And
that's a very reasonable complaint. See, that's the problem with me. I am not like a hardcore fighting game player for a little bit. And, you know, I remember like in my League of Legends days, there was like basically homework. You need to learn the meta of like, how does the character play? What items do you need to be competitively viable? What is like the rate of gold you need to have in order to know if you're like hitting your pace, in order to have like the stats you need to go up against, you know, your like bottom lane opponent or whatever it is, or your jungle opponent or whatever it is you used to do. And by the churn being so fast, there's no way to keep up. And the problem is, this is really a clash. I think you're seeing, or, you know, whoever it is playing it, between people that like dipping in a little bit, learning some moves, playing, I suppose the word would in fact be casually, versus dedicated, more hardcore players that want to do as you are describing here and really learn the mechanics. Play like the game of chess, you know? What if they came out with chess 2, 3, 4 every couple of months, and you spent your whole life learning how to play chess? You'd be like, can we play like the original game? There's all this depth, all this meaning in that, and it is somewhat unavoidable. This is like the nature of the market. They want to make the new thing. Lots of people want to go on, but this is why it's so important to have like a scene of dedicated people that are all playing the same game. You don't want tennis players playing against basketball players. It's going to be confusing and not really work very well. So That makes a lot of sense to me, the way you described it.
I think there is two genres in fighting games, in my opinion, which is you have your Street Fighter 6. Everybody's playing this, everybody wants to be good at this, and it has enough casual appeal and enough just consistent content with like new story modes, new characters all the fucking time that they just like always like, just so like consistent in its trajectory. And you have like games like the Dragon Ball like Zero Spot games, which is like, come out, explodes, everybody's playing them for like a month, maybe less, and then suddenly nobody's doing that. And I feel like a lot of, especially anime fighting games, which I think they're all like whole niche subgenre of it all, it's just like fall into that of like, well,
you're right.
We're playing Strife. I think Strife is like one of the ones with more staying power, just because Guilty Gear is iconic.
Guilty Gear's, it's a well-done.
Yeah. There's all the dead bodies of the former Guilty Gear players who don't like Strife, but we don't worry about them.
Yeah, don't worry about them.
Myself being one of them.
In the dustbin of history, old man. We're not interested anymore. Yep.
I think you have your Street Fighter 6, you have your Guilty Gears, you have your Tekkens, and then every other fighting game, which is just like popular for a bit. Maybe we'll have like, some showing in EVO or something, and that's about it.
Yep, you're completely right.
Dude, I remember my buddy in college. So there's the new version of Melty Blood, but my buddy in college got into the old version of Melty Blood, like with a cracked PS2 or whatever.
Actress Again, right? Or am I thinking
that was it? One? Actress Again. I think that was it. Yep. Good old Femi. He knew what was up. He was a hardcore guy. Well, okay. I mean, there you go. Hey, guys, I was gonna say next on my list here to speak about is in fact Guilty Gear and its little brother Blaze Blue. I guess I was a Guilty Gear guy back in the day as well on PS2. I used to say Chip Zanoof is what I used to say. Now I realize it is Chip Zanuff. So I've been updated. Dude, why is it that these are always the best characters? I remember Tom explained in his Guilty Gear lecture. I didn't even know this at the time, but my man Chip, an American-born, like, drug addict, like, assassin or whatever, but falls in love with Japan and becomes the strongest ninja who ever lived because his chi is so damn strong, despite being, like, an American drug addict, and would go on to become president of his own nation. That's just the best fucking character of all time. I love Chip so goddamn much. And he has the legendary triple jump. That's my guy right there. Everybody else is a stupid, broke leg idiot, can only jump twice in the air. He can do it a full 3 times. That's my guy. He was great.
A great rushdown character, too, in the older Guilty Gear games. Chip's a really cool character.
I don't know any of them well, but I played Chip. Chip was my guy. White hair, ninja guy, big blade on his arm. Yeah, he was my guy. And I'm going to say right now, these designs, I miss skinny, drug addict-looking Chip. Is it cool that he's insanely yoked and looks like Goku now? Sure, I guess. But I miss when he looked like he was about to die from a crack overdose any second now. Now, that's my hashtag my Chip. This one, I don't know this new guy.
Nate, you gotta be specific. Which Guilty Gear?
Dude, I don't know. I'm stupid, and I can't keep track of all the different versions.
XX, Accent Core. If it's on the PS2, it's Accent, or one of the versions of Guilty Gear XX.
I don't know. It's one of the ones on PS2. I have no idea.
So
I'm just
my
a little
favorite
baby.
Version is
nice
Guilty Gear XX as well, the second as well. And what kind of differentiates that game from like Strive, for example, is that game in terms of the pace and the complexity of the like controls and inputs, it is insane.
It was far beyond what I could understand.
It is a very technical, high skill based game, and I've played it enough online to get annihilated.
Every single time I would fire it up and play with Ben, it would be the exact same thing. I go into the menu, I look at one move, and I fumble around until I can do that move, and I simply do that one move over and over again until I either win or die. Sometimes it was a great move that was really effective. Other times it just did not work at all, and I would just get obliterated. And I would never put the pieces together to like learn how to play the character competently.
Did you learn how to do
like
the instant air dashing and stuff like that in that game?
I think I did do some instant air dashing, as I recall. There was a dash that Chip had that would like teleport you across the room. That was like one of the moves that I learned how to do at one point, and then I forgot. Of course, that's how it went for me.
That's my favorite Guilty Gear, actually, Guilty Gear XX, and the speed of that game is insane. And basically, ever since that game, Arc has been just trying to slow Guilty Gear down more and more.
Well, the mass people, it's too fast for them. They can't play Melee. They can't play. Yeah, you know.
That era, that 2000s era of fighting games, just overall, across all this series, is just peak. That's when everything was so good. Really technical, fast, deep, skill-based. It was basically before they all started worrying about, we need to sell everything. We need to make it as approachable as possible.
Dude,
they were just vibing, dude. They were just trying to make the games as good as possible. And
this is the thing. So that was an experimental time. This is why, guys, capitalism has to go, and NateGenomics needs to be instituted forever, okay? And it's because what we would want to happen is that we look back, like the game developers, whoever looks back at all the games and be like, dude, everybody loves Melee and think it's like the most competent thing ever. Sure, like Brawl sold more, but like everyone knows Brawl kind of sucks in terms of gameplay. You just play Meta Knight or you lose, or, you know, whatever it is. But that's just not what happens. What happens is they're like, I look at graph, which made the most money, do that again, maybe like a slight improvement, and like this is repeat forever. Is there no commander, like a Gabe Newell at the standard that's like, hey, we actually are going to do the thing that's like the good thing, not the thing that's the bad thing that just happened to be appealing to people, but that's to people that we don't care about because they're not like real. They're fake people that don't matter.
And you know how this conversation goes in the fighting game community, like over and over again, every single time. It's the exact same conversation, which is, okay, like let's say you love Guilty Gear XX, that game rules, and you want more people to play Guilty Gear XX. You're like, okay, it's a technical, difficult game, and if you're playing against someone who knows how to play it, they will annihilate you, and you have no chance.
Right.
Which is awesome. But like your friend who gets annihilated, like my friends, well, they don't want to play anymore. So, okay, what if, this is the conversation every time, what if we kind of, make some compromises, make it a little bit more approachable so that your friend will continue to play, add some comeback, maybe make instant air dashing more accessible, all that sort of stuff. But once we get everyone on board, once we get everyone into the game, then we'll go back to the real shit.
Any day now, guys.
Any day now. And how has that been going? Oh, what happens is you just keep simplifying, and it's insane.
Yeah.
It does not happen. People do not go back to more hardcore. It's a one-way valve. They just keep making it more approachable.
It's a ratchet effect that only goes one way. And we have to institute the Natriarchy. We have to institute NateGenomics. It's the only way forward for us, folks.
Better graphics, better game, goddammit.
If you want to institute NateGenomics, you've got to go to internetgenius.com. Wait, that's not right. Patreon.com/internetgenius. That's the plug. That's what I'm saying. Forgive me.
Yeah, and I would say, though, that the art of Guilty Gear XX. Now, Guilty Gear has great art across all the games. I would definitely admit that. Yeah. But I do especially love the art style of Guilty Gear XX. It is just incredible.
It's very sort of like polished and shiny and more like literally anime-y now. I mean, it definitely still looks good. I would never say it like looks bad or anything, but it was gritty and grungy and more like dive bar
theme
metal.
Is like metal, exactly. And it has like a real metal type of feel to it for sure.
Yep. That was obviously
when you play the new Guilty Gear and it has like their little metal songs, it feels so disjointed from the aesthetic of the game. You're like, what's happening here?
The new game it's really like, May with her like, follow the rainbow to the happy land of fish and whales. That's real. That's Strive right there. That's
Strive. Slander against the best game.
Chips Enough should be doing coke off his blade right now and wave dashing or whatever at Soul Bad Guy as they clash for all time. That's what should be happening.
Who watched the Tom Oliver lecture about the Guilty Gear, and I was like, I'm intrigued with the Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear Strive is coming out. You know what? I'll buy this game on release.
I'm really glad that lecture does not include Strive. I think that's beautiful. I think that's a time capsule we all can appreciate. It should be put in a Smithsonian. Never update this lecture. Let's keep Strive out of the conversation forever.
I can't believe 100% of sales of Strive are attributed to Tom's lecture about Guilty Gear. It's crazy how that worked out.
They got my money for it.
I mean, damn you, Tom.
Well, Xrd was, I think he was during the Xrd era, and Xrd was still,
I think so.
It was more approachable, but it was still much more along the lines of Guilty Gear. I like
compromised.
Xrd. I like XX more, but Xrd is cool.
I want to illustrate playing Guilty Gear Strive, which happened this way. It's like, buy the game, okay? And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll get into it. I think the game looks fucking gorgeous. Maybe I'll get into this. I'll see what's up. And I start, like, the single-player mode, I want to see what's up. I'm interested in the plot. And I click on it. And every other fighting game I've ever played is like, you play, you watch the cutscene, you watch the intro, and then, like, one of your characters, you meet somebody else, and you play as one of them to progress the story. And I'm like holding the controller down, and I'm like sitting, and it's like the cutscene is playing. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. This is a lot of setup. Okay, the presidents. Okay. And then like, an enemy shows up, and I'm like, okay, we're getting into it. And then it just continues, and there's like a fight scene, animated, and I'm like,
animated,
like just like animated fight scene between them, just like going at it. And I'm like,
normally you just play the fight in the fighting game, but okay.
Yeah, you could just. That's Nate. Exactly what I thought.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, like this is just the intro, right? This is just the intro. We're getting into it, and then the screen fades to black, and I'm like, oh, now we're getting into like some other fight. Okay, and then a new cutscene starts playing, and it just keeps going. And like another dude shows up, and they start fighting each other. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, is there like fighting in this story mode? There was not.
No fighting in your fighting game. Sorry, buddy. Brace for Daisuke's wild ride of anime cutscenes. See, this is a classic case where the limited technology and resources they had back in the day made the game like, dude, like you get like one block of text as like, Chun-Li's like, is that Ryu? I need to recruit you for fighting Mr. Bison or whatever. And then you fight immediately 2 seconds later. And then you repeat this like 12 times and then you win story mode. That's it. This is cringe, man.
I distinctly remember like 15 minutes and I was like, is there no fighting? And then I paused the game and Googled it. and no. And as it was like, no, there's just like, this is like a 5 hours to movie. And I'm like, oh.
Wait, whoa. There's literally no fighting? That can't be right.
In the story mode, there's no fighting. In the story mode,
no fighting. How is that possible? How is that? That doesn't make any sense.
It's not it. I Googled it.
Are you talking about camera? Like, is this movie mode you're describing? Where you watch the cutscenes or something?
It's called story modes.
What the fuck? This is insane. I had no idea. Okay, I get it, right? They've got their characters, they've got their lore. They want to like spoon feed it to you and stuff. The story mode, are you shitting me? Is cutscenes only, no fights?
Cutscenes. Voice acting.
Daisuke, what are you doing? What is happening? No, story mode is where Chun-Li has 1-sentence conversations with E Honda as they're like, I sure love being Asian. Let's say like 2 sentences. I love sushi or something else. And then they fight. What? I'm astounded. I'm blown away that that's possible. How is this real? Fuck this game. I'm saying a hashtag fuck this game. That's cringe, man. That's insane. I can't believe it.
Whenever I start a fighting game...
What fighting game? There's no fighting in this game. It's just a movie. Did you mean movie game? Because that's what this is. Daisuke! You betrayed me, Daisuke! How can you do this?
I thought you knew this. I really thought you knew this.
I didn't buy Strive because I'm based and red-pilled and I would never play Strive.
I paused the game.
Dude, why pause? Why pause? You're not going to miss any gameplay. That's for damn sure.
Don't want to miss the lore, dude. Don't want to miss the
lore. Dude, this is where we're at. They've imported the wiki from the internet into the game. You just go read the wiki in the game now. That's basically what's happening. We cut out the middleman. Look, are we not putting the cart before the horse in the fighting game a little bit here?
You have to understand, Nate, whenever you pause in the story mode, you're brought up into a massive interlinked timeline. And you can click on any node, and it gives you a summary of the events and characters and everything.
Okay.
everything.
Look, this is obviously them being like, okay, our lore is confusing. We know that. We are going to make a mode where you can like learn all the lore and like follow the time. I understand what they're doing here. However, something in my soul cries out at the injustice of opening up a quote-unquote fighting game like Guilty Gear Strive. You click on story mode, which we all know what story mode was. Street Fighter 2 had story mode. It's where you play through the fights and get the story of the individual character. But it's like Final Fantasy VII Remake. We've changed the meaning. It means something else here now. I once against the Japanese strike again, not understanding English and our customs or whatever. And now it's like, no. We meant like story, like put down the controller. We're playing a 5-hour cutscene now. That's what's happening when you click on story mode. I can't believe it. Daisuke. Yeah. The West has fallen. The East has fallen. It's over. It's over for fighting games.
This really shook you, Nate. This really shook you.
It really did. It blew my mind. I can't believe that's real. And people look, I'm sure that there's things that are good about this game, okay, right? They're the cool anime people and stuff. I'm completely flabbergasted that is real. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the story mode in Guilty Gear XX that you, instead of doing like a cutscene and stuff, you have to fight an actual powered up, super powerful version of Aino that is stronger than in the actual game, which I think is very cool. So that's integrating it into the actual gameplay rather than just playing cutscenes and telling you, oh yeah, no, Aino's very powerful. Here's the cutscene. Instead, you have to actually fight her, and she's got busted ass moves and shit.
That's what I expected. That's what I expected. I expected that, and it just didn't happen. And then I got a sandwich and just just hang out for like 5 hours. I'm like, oh, that was neat, I guess.
I never expected to learn that the East had fallen today on this episode of Internet Genius.
But once the cutscene was over, I did go to arcade mode and actually played the game. And I'm like,
well, there's the real game. Yeah, that's
okay.
These
are the characters. Okay. I like Jacko.
Well, is there even like a story mode, like the real kind that you like play through and get like the characters, you know?
Unless I missed a menu now.
Okay, all right.
Which would be crazy. Let me tell you, if it was,
it would be crazy. It would be surprising
if that was not a menu. This is the catches, I guess.
You would think it should be unmissable, like design-wise. They need to make sure that it's there.
If Noni missed it, I blame the game, not Noni. Unironically. Internet Genius is never wrong, folks. We're only temporarily yet to be revealed to be correct. So that
the next submission is somebody launching Guilty Gear and being like, see, when you click on story mode, Noni, there's a parentheses right there saying no gameplay.
Well, even if that's revealed to be the case, it'll just be, the immediate defense will be, Noni confused that with the next Guilty Gear, which cuts out all gameplay and it's just one start button that just plays a 10-hour long cutscene. That's Guilty Gear Super Strive, and that's Guilty Gear Thrive. Guilty Gear, no gameplay, no problems. That's my favorite game.
The ultimate accessible fighting game, dude. The ultimate.
It's perfect. No gameplay
perfect
required.
Fighting game.
That's perfect.
No fighting game required.
The perfect fighting game.
I'm a Jacko type of person. I think Ship is fine, but I'm a Jacko. I like.
I'm jacking O right now. Just thinking about it. Yeah, no doubt, dude. No, it's dude. Okay, no, you put on the Jacko cutscene and you begin to Jacko because it revolves zero gameplay. Both hands are free for maximum jacking O during the game.
That is the story of Guilty Gear Strive.
That's literally the intended gameplay. Dude, no, that's the gameplay. The gameplay is you and your dick. That is the real gameplay of story mode. Of course. I should have known all along. That is the intended way to experience the game. Forgive me, Daisuke. I didn't know what I was talking about. I'm so sorry. That's enough Guilty Gear, man. I'm really not a Guilty Gear guy. I love my boy Chips enough, but I don't know. The East has fallen. Thank you, Daisuke. I can't believe you did that. Let's just talk about, we got to wrap up pretty soon here, and we've got a couple other things to just briefly touch on. So, if I could just for a moment talk about my divine love for Dissidia Final Fantasy, the actual best fighting game of all time, where you play as like all the main villains and all the main good guys of the Final Fantasy series, which was originally designed, like the plan was to do this with like Kingdom Hearts characters, but Disney did not like that idea of having like Goofy fighting in a fighting game or whatever. So okay, fair enough. And so, I mean, this was for a Final Fantasy chud such as myself growing up, this was like the best thing ever, where it took like sprite characters like Cecil Harvey and eventually like Kain from Final Fantasy. Kain Highwind from Final Fantasy IV. Who else? Golbez from Final Fantasy IV got turned into a fighting game character. This was an exercise in just like the people at Square Enix, they sat down, they thought about all these characters that I love very much, and they're like, what would it be like if they were a fighting game character of a particular system? And they made them, and they had to flesh them out and add stuff to it, and it was just like the best thing ever for Final Fantasy fans, such as myself. The fighting itself, though, is so like classic Square Enix, off the wall bizarre. Like, I think Nomura directed it, but Nomura was definitely like in charge of it in one way or another. But the like bravery attacks and then the HP attacks, circle for bravery attacks, square for HP attacks, and you do bravery attacks that are small and quick to build up bravery points that then, however much brave you have, you can use your square HP attacks to deal bravery point damage to their HP, which resets your brave back to 0 and slowly goes back up to its normal level. And if you get hit and a bravery attack lowers your bravery count below 0, you are, I believe it's called bravery broken, and you now cannot deal HP damage. I mean, this is all over the place. It's in a 3D environment, kind of like the Dragon Ball Z games. But man, the dashing, the like, whatever it was called, where you go like Super Saiyan mode when you get your ultimate abilities when you unlock them or something. It was just a pure orgasm of Final Fantasy joy, and it was so good that I played this game like basically literally every day on my PSP. I want to say for like a good solid 3 years straight. Maybe not quite literally every day, but very close to it. Especially in college when I was just come back at night and I'm like, fuck it, let's fire up Dissidia. It's the best game ever. And of course they made the sequel, Dissidia Duodecim, which means like 12 or something for Final Fantasy up to 12. And they put in, the 12 and the 11 characters and a couple extra ones like Tifa and Kain Highwind and stuff. And it was just the best thing ever. I loved it so much. Issues were that, like, the competitive scene technically existed. There was, like, ways to play online, I think, but I never figured out how to do it anyway, because I just didn't care. This was not about being the best at this game for me. This was about reveling in my love for Final Fantasy characters, of which this was the best way to do it of all time. By just, like, man, I'm thinking about Final Fantasy IV. Let's play as Cecil for a while. Holy shit, he's a paladin. Now he's a Dark Knight. I'm doing Dark Waves. The abilities were just like little explorations of things you loved about the characters, and it was just the best game ever. What can I say? It was so good. Like Kane's neutral HP attack, square attack, was jump. This was like the first time that we sort of took a concept like the Jump Dragoon command from Final Fantasy. I guess it started in Final Fantasy 3, but it's just been a staple through all Final Fantasies. Jump is what Dragoons do. What does that mean? I don't know. They jump really high and then they fall down. It was Dissidia that made us understand in practical terms what the jump attack would quote-unquote be like in real life. You just do a big up and then immediately come crashing down on top of your spear. It was like just doing the moves, just performing them was the most satisfying thing a Final Fantasy fan could ever experience. And it was the best game of all time, including Duodecim. The two games are whatever. They're pretty collective. There were some differences. I got to shit on Duodecim for doing the following. Bartz's original ultimate attack, I forget whatever it's called, was rapid fire, 4 attack ninja. It's the classic combo where you're like dual wield. It's like dual wield rapid fire magic strike, which is it's like the magic. These are abilities you combine on your character in Final Fantasy V to basically make it do the most damage. It attacks like 8 times in one turn. It's insanely good if you just buff your stats a bit. And that meta decided upon best attack in the game was Bart's ultimate attack in the first game. But in the second game, they changed it to like Bravery Strike. Guys, you had literal peak soul in the first game by naming it after this move that everybody loved, and you just decided to erase it for no reason. Does anyone else in the world care about this? I don't know, but it meant a lot to me, and I'm deeply upset to this day. Anyway, so all this is to say, best game ever. And then, a couple years passed. This, maybe Mark, you can speak to this. Perhaps this is the first time a console, console fighting game was ruined by becoming an arcade fighting game, which perhaps there's examples to the contrary going the other direction. But by making it an arcade game for whatever insane life-ruining reason for me specifically, they decided to make it a mandatory arcade game 3-on-3. 3-on-3 combat, which means you just cannot play the game properly. What this did was it completely from top to bottom compromised and fucked up and dumbed down all the play styles of all the characters so that, like, yeah, you can't do anything complicated. There's 2 other dudes fighting on your team. It has to be streamlined and kept, like, mentally comprehensible for your opponents and for you as a team to manage. Long story short, for many reasons, including like artistic design and whatever, they dumbed it down, they stripped it out, they fucked it up, whatever it was called. Dissidia something, the console one, was just the biggest possible disappointment of all time, and it's just been dead. They've made like Dissidia rhythm music games since then. Oh, they're so yay! I love the rhythm game. It's just like a nightmare. They peaked. They made 2 like virtually perfect games. Sure, they're weird. I love how fucking weird they are. And then they made this retarded, horrible console version, which ruined everyone's life. And they've just never gone back. They've never made a new one since, even though it was like the best game of all time. The Natriarchy cries out for a new, good, one-on-one, single-player Dissidia experience, which, by the way, you can now easily do, like, online competitive play with, like, the internet stuff. Just put it on a console. How hard could this possibly be? You literally did it twice. Just do it again with, like, a little bit of wisdom behind it. It's just the most fucked up thing of all time. The one thing I will say about Dissidia as, like, a game design, which is the most... I mean, I don't know how much you know about like the gameplay or the design of Dissidia, Mark, but I bet you will find this, and this is kind of a general concept I want to ask about, just kind of the concept of unlocking stuff in your fighting games to use them later, playing through to unlock, and I mean like gameplay relevant things, because the whole deal with Dissidia, for at least the first 2, probably the console one too, whatever, you have to unlock not just the characters, every single move and ability that you have to unlock them all one at a time. We're talking about like, I don't know, hundreds of hours to complete a full roster. Yeah, pure grinding against random. I think if you play online, I think you probably unlock stuff too. But we're talking about basic, like the main moves that your character even does, you do not have access to because they're trying to do it, like a Final Fantasy game traditionally where you unlock new abilities and stuff. Guys, for the love of Christ. Okay, did this decision have soul and have pure Nomura meme magic behind it? 100% absolutely. Did it make this game completely impenetrable to anyone that wasn't a Final Fantasy freak such as myself and was, dude, I never unlocked every single ability, and I played this game every day for years, and I still never did it all. It was just one of the most baffling game design things of all time.
Did you play the online PvP, or did it not have online PvP?
I think it existed, and I tried to do it a couple of times, but like going online on your PSP was a complete nightmare to begin with, and I think maybe I figured it out like once or twice, but I was not concerned about that. I just played like by myself. Yeah,
because if you had a story mode, I think Souls PvP kind of has this issue where if you have a story mode where you have unlocks and leveling and all the RPG stuff, and then you go to play competitively, like with the proper fighting game, you're supposed to have like static builds, static frame data that the game is balanced around.
Dissidia is not like
balance.
that.
Yeah. So a thing about it is, I'm curious. For example, they're making that Duskbloods coming up soon, which is supposed to be, I think, sort of a PvP Souls game, and I'm really interested because one issue with that, with just fighting games or competitive games, if you have RPG mechanics and RPG leveling, you either need to have some sort of gentleman's agreement happening, and good luck making that happen, where everyone agrees to like an exact standard build we're all going to use. Or you're going to have, are you fighting the player or are you fighting their build? And
it's a huge factor in Dissidia. Builds are like everything. They're everything.
Yeah, so it becomes much more of like a sort of competitive RPG than it does necessarily a fighting game. Because I think one thing you could say, at least for fighting game, is that they have static sets of characters, moves that are universal and constant. That way, can't grind your way past your player, past your opponent's skill. So what they could have done, I would be shocked if they did, is they could have actually had an online PvP mode where you had set character builds. Yeah, so you'd have like, in your story mode, you can unlock ultimate death sword that kills everything in one hit, but in the PvP mode online, you'd have a set build that is just set, and you can't grind it up or down, and
unfortunately, I know
static.
that flies against like the design philosophy they have. They want it to be flexible like an RPG. Listen, you can do all that, have modes for that. Just also have a static one, and it will be somewhat constrictive because people are want to be able. So there are different moves. You can equip and unequip different moves on the characters, so you don't even have access to those moves when you're playing them, and other times you can equip them. Like, I love that about the game. Maybe they could do something where like a certain costume of a character is locked to having a certain set of moves, so that you see that costume as a competitive player, you know exactly what this person is going to bring to the table.
I think Mortal Kombat
you have to
tried something like this. One of the Mortal Kombats, Mortal Kombat 10 or something like that, where they had like variations, and the variations would have like different sets of moves. And and actually, Third Strike, Street Fighter 3 has this a tiny bit with the selectable supers, where you can select Super 1, 2, or whatever. But what happens competitively in most cases is that there is one super that is just competitively better than the other. And so that is the super everyone uses. Like this, other than if you want to like stunt on your opponent and use the wrong super, but other than that,
it's like playing Dan or something. You want to be able to whip out Dan to style.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm playing Ken in Third Strike, you're supposed to use his kick super because it has more meter. It's more connectable. It's just way better than his uppercut super. But sometimes if you just want to style on someone, you use his uppercut super and hit him with it, and they're like, damn. So fighting games experiment with this a little bit, but usually what ends up happening is like the dominant build will just be the one that everyone plays, other than if you just want to style on people, which is kind of interesting.
But I'm willing to compromise.
I don't think that's necessarily what the developers try to do. I think if the developers actually... Like, Dan is a perfect example of that, because Dan, the developers, did create a character that's like, okay, this character is supposed to be bad, and stunting on them with this character is a statement. So I like when developers like make it formally recognized versus something like, if you're a new player and you pick Ken and you pick his uppercut super, you might just think, the uppercut super is probably good. So it's not as clearly communicated.
Mark, I'm curious, did they ever try to make Dan like competitively viable? I feel like they did in like Street Fighter 4. Am I crazy? Am I wrong about that?
A bit. They made him a bit more. He was still kind of a troll character, yes, but they did kind of make him a little bit more reasonable to play, I think. Yeah.
I have a vague memory of one of my friends like getting into Dan for a while. In, in the 2000s.
Yeah, I think they did try to make him a little more reasonable to play in Street Fighter 4.
He's keen. I remember his ultimate. His ultimate's like a super short range Hadoken or something, and you have to be like right on it. Yeah, I think my buddy Mike used to do that. Good old Mike.
Yeah, and you'll notice there are characters that aren't supposed to be bad, but they are kind of low tier, and they end up being fan favorites. Like there was, I don't know if Hugo's necessarily low tier, but in Third Strike at EVO a few years ago, there was this very charismatic Hugo player, and as he was doing supers and stuff on stage, he would do splits and do like crazy moves and stuff. Yeah.
Or didn't there's like somebody like Panda. Panda also was like, there's like a famous story of Panda going from like low tier and then becoming the best in the game or something.
Yeah.
I guess also our boy H-Box with Jigglypuff, right? I mean, kind of a similar situation.
Well, Puff is actually top tier, but I think but I think melee players panicked a little
made it
too
top
hard.
Tier, though.
I think H-Box made Puff seem way more powerful than Puff actually
agree.
is.
Yeah.
Because
Like
there
for
was a
your
moment
average
there
player,
where the
I
Smash
guess.
players were like melting down and afraid the apocalypse was coming because HBox was
We have to
winning with
ban
Puff.
Puff. We have to ban Puff, guys. It's the only way.
Meanwhile, you play
that would
net
be-
play against most Puffs and you just laser camp them and up throw up air them and kill them,
yeah.
and you're like,
see,
I don't know if this is quite
tiers.
the melee breaker that we're
There are
making this out
there are
to be.
different tiers here between like the average player that just fires up the game. That should be a different tier list from literally the most competitive best ones at the game. That's obviously night and day, totally different.
Yeah, and I think HBox is a huge outlier. Just get a little fighting game talk in here because he only played Puff and he dedicated himself to just that one character.
Right.
And if you're a melee player, Puff is a powerful character, but she's very slow and she's just kind of one-dimensional in a lot of ways. And so it takes like a sort of dedication to just play Puff, because what happens is with a lot of melee players is when they hear, Puff's broken, Puff's OP. All right, well, I'll learn Puff. And you do that a week, and then you just get laser camped, up air, and like, there's actually lots of ways to kill Puff. And everyone goes, is this really worth it? Like, everyone hates me. It's kind of boring and lame to play.
That's sort of one of the criticisms of HP. I was going to say, that's one of the criticisms that, like, playing Puff, sure, like you do a lot of edge camping and goading people into coming into your range and stuff, so you can avoid all the lasers and stuff. And it makes it like less visually interesting, and it raises sort of an interesting question: like, is this against the spirit of the game to like do things that strategically work, but are making it less of a spectacle for us, the viewers?
You'll appreciate
I don't know.
this, Nate, because we talked earlier about sort of the divide between the FGC and Smash. And the one adoptive player that the FGC loved, maybe because everyone hated him, was HBox and his Puff. So it's so funny. There's old FGC podcasts, if you go back and listen to, when and this is when everyone hated HBox, everyone hated his Puff. He's ruining the game. He's making the game lame and everything. Then you listen to the FGC guys and like, he's just camping. He's just up throwing, and they loved it. So it was funny because the FGC players actually really liked his Puff. Maybe because he did kind of troll melee and they kind of appreciated that, but also he is kind of a sort of Tekken-ish type of character where in older Tekkens you'd just be like backdash canceling constantly, sort of playing very defensively, very turtly.
Dude, we've got to note that yes, the man that ruined all the melee viewers' fun is a hero to the rest of the fighting game community. Quite a coincidence, that. Very interesting.
And they also loved Ice Climbers, and Ice Climbers were again another controversial character with the wobble.
Yep.
They banned that.
I heard that. Yeah.
My friend, my Smash friend in college, was my practice partner. He was an Icy player, so I got wobbled more than most people. And I actually learned the matchup and I learned how to beat Icies. And it was like kind of a special skill of mine. So when I'd go into tournament and I'd see an Icy player, I'd be like, they don't know that I know. And they're going to get annihilated. But then they banned wobbling and all the Icy players disappeared. They became extinct, dude. They just disappeared.
So this skill that you trained was no longer competitively useful. Because, now,
that happened to me all the time in
you.
Smash because they kept banning things, revising things, modding the game directly. They added this mod directly to the game that made this technique called shield dropping much easier. So I spent a year learning how to organically shield drop. I call it organic melee. I learned on organic melee how to shield drop, how to do a lot of this tech skill. And it felt like getting a fighting game patch. It's like, whoa, they patched melee. I was not a huge fan of that.
That seems like that must have been a controversial choice to mod the game as the standard way to play for a for melee.
It was, but all of those people disappeared. Like I've noticed this in the FGC generally, not just in Smash, but basically whenever there's an actual real controversial choice, that choice ends up getting historically accepted as the correct choice because the people who had a problem with it just kind of quit and disappear.
Good point.
And then that history is, everyone loved that they made this shift to melee where chain grabbing is now much more guaranteed and you can shield drop, because all the melee players who had a problem with it wasn't like a walkout or something. It was just kind of like you kind of lose interest. You go, you got to make sure you're on the right type of melee. And now everyone's like, are you playing on the updated version or the original version? And then there was all this thing with the controller modding where people had certain controller mods that made it easier to play. And so you're like, okay, so I need to invest in controller modding. I need to play on an updated version. This is not the Melee that I once knew. So
Indeed.
You gotta go to the retirement home real quick. You know, you gotta back up.
Yep.
It's true. Well, Chip, I mean, we're very close to the end of time. Noni wanted to go and regale us with his love of the Naruto fighting games and the DBZ fighting games.
Next episode.
Yeah, next time.
Okay,
well, we'll hear about that. But so last thing before we go, real quick, we've got an epic new Internet Genius submission. Send us stuff to the email down below. Send us cool videos to talk about. Let's take a look at this one real quick. It's very short and sweet. It's from our boy Yorp, and he has the following to say to us. Once again, he's checking in. Thanks for the submissions, buddy. Let's see what he has to say for himself. Go.
Dear Noni and Nate, when will you finally talk about lifting weight?
So true. All right, I'm just going to lower that way down low. Okay, thank you, Billy. Thank you, Aniki. Yes, Arnold, okay. All right, what's this guy's name? Kairos or something? Big Greek dude? Yeah, that's literally me. Literally me yesterday. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yes, literally me exercising. Okay, let's...
Yeah, I saw that ad in the Discord, yes.
Oh, was there... Did he say in the Discord?
Yeah.
Or this was, I guess, from the other day. Yeah, right. So to read the message here that's on screen, Demand475 said, "Yo, Nate Bestman, just left a YouTube comment about it, but I'll tell you here too. I just started working out again, and I listens to the podcast while I worked out. Maybe you should work out at the library. Correct your grammar and spelling right there, buddy. I finished Expedition 33 last night at like 1 a.m., just in time for the next podcast in my workout playlist. Expedition 33, yes. Looking forward to a good workout and somewhat decent podcast." Fuck you, buddy. Wish me gains and brains, brother. You know what? I think, to your point, Demand, when will we talk about exercise? Briefly, we'll talk about it right now. It's good. You should do it. Gains and brains, bros. That was the Internet Genius creed from here on out. Yes, working out is excellent. You should do it. Find a plan. Hey, my boy Jeff Nippard has a bunch of cool stuff. Maybe we should in the Discord make a chat for like working out stuff, just so people can like talk about it. Like we have like the Japanese one. People can like, it can get you started if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Exercise is, I mean, everyone should like run or walk, get their 10,000 steps a day, work out. I had a great upper body workout yesterday. It was good. I've got a little twinge in my right shoulder, so I'm taking it a little bit easy with my shoulder work and my bench pressing, which does involve the shoulder. Anyway, it was an excellent workout. My back is strong. I'm freaking yoked. I'm massive, boys. It's happening. It's all good stuff. Working out is great. Maybe we should do an episode one day about this in more detail. All I can say is it's great, and we should make a thing in the Discord for it. So
I am not a gym rat, but I do hit the gym. It's all about consistency. It's about consistency.
So true. 100%. 100%. I mean, I guess, yeah. What's the basics here? Hey, everybody, you should theoretically work out. Something like lifting weights 3 times a week would be great if you want to do like a full body exercise. That's what I was doing until recently. I'm doing like a 4-day set. I actually might go back to 3 days a week because it's whatever, just like a little easier for me. I don't know. It's just good for you. Getting up and getting out and getting moving is so good for you. Listen, guys, this is a great mantra. Gains and brains. This is absolutely good, Demand. Nicely said. Because you know, Edward Elric taught me this way back in the day. Dude, anime mention on Internet Genius? Is this literally the first time or what? If you are the smartest man in the world, but your body is a lump of Play-Doh and you're cringe and doing nothing with your like, that's not cool. That's gay, bro. You want to be getting up, walking around, exercising, and letting your body be a refined, sharpened diamond vessel for your crystalline mind that you have treated so well by listening to this podcast and becoming a genius. Treat your body in a similar way. It must be trained. You must make yourself a divine vessel for your divine power. So Do it, man. Edward Elric knew it.
But Nate Bestman, we're going to the AI future. Well, I'll just upload my brain into the cloud and leave this mortal flesh.
I'm gonna be an AI robot, man. Okay, first of all, obviously, even if we have the AI robot download brain, we all passed basic sci-fi 101. That's not gonna be literally you. You are gonna be trapped in your flesh, coffin of a body while a copy of your mind, a copy of your consciousness goes into the AI machine. You don't want to be left behind in a lump of Play-Doh, okay? While the AI robots are having the best time. You're locked in here with me, buddy. We're trapped in the prison, so let's make it as nice a prison as we can.
And even if that technology were ever invented, probably not going to be in your lifetime. So, no.
Great point. This transhumanism stuff is largely a cope. Hey, it'd be cool if it happened one day, but it ain't happening anytime soon. And listen, I will just make this larger point. The thing about working out or anything like this is that a lot of people are like, when I was like first kind of seriously working out, I did a little bit in like middle school, and then in high school I did more, and I got more serious when I got older in like college and stuff. And look, I've never been like a super mega ripped guy, but like I did consistently go to the gym, would highly recommend. People thought I looked pretty decent, Now I'm fat and dead and it's over for me, but I'm working at it anyway. But here's the thing about working out. It's just a skill about doing something and getting good at something that, like, let's say in a year from now, they invent the robot body where you're not trapped and you actually can escape your flesh prison into like the AI robot. The thing about that is, what's a better version of you to be uploaded into that AI robot in the future, even if it's literally your same consciousness? Is it the you that just sat around and did not dedicate yourself to being a physically, impressive physical specimen by exercising, which, by the way, are the basic functions that your body should do every day, every week, every month, whatever it is. You should be physically fit as best you can. It's all a weird abstraction that we all sit in our chairs for a million years every day. The better version of you is the one that took the labors, that took the effort upon yourself to commit to being a fucking yoked beast, mate. That would be a better version of you to get uploaded. The one with the commitment and the foresight to know that it was the right, smart thing to do. It's the only intellectual thing to do, is to get fucking yoked, mate. It's the right, smart, high IQ thing to do. For real. And dude, so much of it, literally everyone knows that you should exercise and be in shape. All it is endless excuses as, well, not really like me though. Like that's for like other people. I've got more important things to do. Nope. Literally every human being should be in good physical shape as best they can.
It's like 2 hours. It's that.
Oh no, yeah, it's like, oh no, I don't have, like literally 1 hour, like 3 times a week you could get freaking yoked using 1 hour 3 times a week. Just like do that for years. You will be in awesome shape. Obviously if you have a good plan and stuff, you do not have to spend a ton of time. One of my biggest problems is that like my gym kind of takes up too much of my time, and I struggle with that a little bit, but no, totally doable, totally achievable. So demand Yorp. Good message, buddy. We definitely had to mute that song because that's definitely copyright claimed. But the message is good, bro. All those yoked absolute beasts, who, by the way, are like 1/10 of my massive mass. Then I'm a freaking absolute unit out here. Absolute double wide, if you know what I'm saying. Literally me.
The
me.
dude
Muscle
that
wise,
blood from his nose was, did give me to be like,
yeah, I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one, though.
Dude, I still have on my wall somewhere around here. Where did I put that? I don't know. It's somewhere on my wall. I have this chart I printed out from the Fit board from Fit on 4chan like years ago. It's a checklist of like Fit achievements that you want to do. Yo, I'll be happy to say this one. I recently achieved one I had not done before. This was a couple of months ago. Benching your body weight. Benching your body weight is like a big thing that people want to do. I did it. Right, I'm actually kind of resting. Like I said, my shoulder's like a little bit painful, but I did it. I'm gonna take it easy, gonna rest up, and I'm gonna smash through all my goals. It's gonna be sick. Gonna be an absolute freaking nasty beast, boys. Join me on my quest. I'm Whitebeard, reaching out my hand to you, saying, join me and die to Akainu's fist so that I may live for 10 seconds longer and then also die. That's the offer I'm making to you. Deal exchange, I offer you getting yoked. You receive death instantly. Sounds like a plan to me. Sounds like a good bargain, folks. All right. Thanks for the submission. If you want to get your shitty ass video cringe on the show, also email us at internetgeniussubmissions@gmail.com. The link's in the description. Check that. I can be wrong with the words, but the text don't lie. And give us videos or maybe a cool video of audio or something. But keep it under a minute for the love of God. Don't make it long. And that's it. Okay. That's it. We're done with the submission. Thank you, Yorp. Appreciate it, buddy. I guess it's time to wrap up. I will once again say go to patreon.com/internetgenius. Hey, you want to be in the credits that are going to play in like 1 minute after now? That's where you give us $5 to do so. Or more if you want to be one of the cool elite red boys like Patrick Baseman. Oh, and Babadook Spook, of course. Our two elite high IQ individuals. Guys, their IQs are way outstripping yours. You want to be a red boy in the credits by giving us $10. Do it right now. Best money you ever spent, for sure. And the new bonus episode will literally be out right now. So give us money so you can go listen to it. There you go. There's my pitch. We're done with business. Mark, I hope you had fun and thank you for putting up with that segment just now. Any final words to our folks at home?
Yeah. So I was going to give a little shout out to our previous guest, or the previous guest before me, the Gaming Brit, because he has this excellent video about the aesthetics of Tekken 4. And I feel like Tekken 4, it has some issues with gameplay balance, no doubt about it. But I think it gets way too heavily criticized by the Tekken players historically, especially in light of Tekken 8. And also because it did introduce Sidewalk, I am quite sure. So anyway, I wanted to give that video a shout out. If you appreciate Tekken 4,
dude,
it's a really cool
Mark's
one.
Mark's the kind of guy
aesthetic.
to come on a podcast and shout out another dude's video that he liked at the end of the video instead of his own. My God. I want Internet Genius Patreon. Yeah, you could go there. That's the right thing to do.
Yes. Oh yeah. Check out my Patreon, please. Please.
Yeah. Give this guy money, guys.
I'd really
He's
appreciate
a family man. He's like Guile. He went home and became a family man. And we support that on this show.
Indeed. Guile and Ken together.
Indeed. A brace of brotherly American love.
Go check
That's
out
us.
Mark's
Literally
video
us.
on the purest Metroidvania right now.
Oh, thanks so much.
Oh,
yeah. Definitely
Your new
check that one out.
Which is about, what's it about?
It's about Rain World and about how Rain World
World
has been slandered by the Metroidvania genre gatekeepers when really it is so pure Metroidvania they can't even process it. They can't even handle how pure Metroidvania Rain World is.
It's so Metroidvania, it lacks some of the fundamental components that were in the original Metroidvanias. Huh, crazy. Wow, that's nuts.
Or
we've evolved. We're evolving all the time.
Or is that genre are those things
meaningless
not actually getting to the core of what the genre is? Are they just tropes? Like saying, what defines an RPG is grinding. Is that necessarily
okay,
true?
so would it be fair to say that this term Metroidvania, there is a platonic ideal of a Metroidvania that goes beyond Metroid and beyond Castlevania, and Rain World is attempting to access that pure platonic form. Is this
I would say actually a little more correction. It's like, because I talk a lot about Super Metroid, and I'm a big fan and player of Super Metroid. And what Super Metroid did and what it really established, I don't think other Metroidvania have quite captured until Rain World. I think Rain World is actually a more pure successor to Super Metroid than people realize. So,
dude, I haven't had a chance to finish it, but I'm definitely watching that video. I watched like a couple of chunks of it. Dude, Mark's great. I love Mark's videos. Watch him all the time. Big fan of him. And he's a fan of me, so you know he's smart. So that's how you know this guy's got good taste.
Certified internet genius.
That's definitely some internet genius stuff, if ever there was. All right, people, well, go watch Mark's stuff. Go check out more Internet Genius episodes. There's like a baker's dozen plus one on the channel. Give us money on the Patreon. Watch the bonus episodes and feel that IQ surge. Thanks for being here, everybody. We will see you next time. Goodbye. Say goodbye with me, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Work sucks. Food's cold. No sleep. Getting old. Maybe it's time to figure it out. Think it up what life's about. I need Internet Genius, bringing all the best ideas. Certified right boys all the time. If you want the correct opinion, here's mine.